Good evening. Welcome to Damage Does D&D. We're back with Helloran Rising, episode 68. Not long. One more episode. We're right there. So, we're so close. So close. Anyway, the last time we were here, well, let's let Melissa tell us what was going on last time we were here.
You know, I empathize a lot with Sprocket sometimes. We always get into arguments, and I suspect he doesn't exactly like me much, but I suspect that our relationships with our families ain't all that different. I don't know for certain, but all I do know is that he seemed relieved to be leaving the forests. We set back off through the fire wastes, our new acquaintance Ferenz in tow. I'm not sure what to make of him yet, but he's certainly relaxed and kind, but this journey's thrown a lot of disguises and liars at us so far. Though I don't think I distrust him. We were headed back towards the mountains on a mission, a plan set out by Gus and Yarick. Rescue the dragon eggs being cruelly farmed in Daghold, and try and end the war through that as a peace offering. The very fact that the dwarven gems come from this exploitation unnerves me. I have no idea how much my family knows about the origin of the materials they use, but based on past experience, I doubt it would stop them any. As we walked, I spoke a bit more with Miette about her stories. She didn't have any about the fire waste, but she shared a little bit about how she makes them, how she constructs them, about how her adventures would make for some good ones. But before we could debate the moral of a story about lying to a librarian to steal a book we didn't even know existed, we happened upon the site where we fought that sapphire dragon the day before. According to Gus, it had been there recently, probably trying to track us. It was from here that Florian began to feel like he was being watched. Then he got what seemed to be a message from Dakota telling him that she was attempting to escape. We got into a good old-fashioned heated discussion. Sorry. Because Florian and Celeste wanted to go off and save her. I began to agree, but Sprocket and then Florian began to struggle with their wounds. I almost felt like they were being drawn in together. I shudder to think what might have happened if they'd come together at that moment. It took Yarick shouting at all of us to keep us moving and focus on what had to be done first, by the words of his god, to snap us out of our overanalysis and panic. We kept moving with Sprocket and Florian separated, just in case, though as we moved on, I looked back to see a figure in the distance. They looked somewhat like Vale, but with a lot of fire about them. I wonder if that was a Mash doing her bidding, or the Lady Ship herself, more powerful due to our proximity to a Mash's temple. We didn't stop until we reached that cave that dwarven refugees had escaped through. Gus scouted ahead to make sure it was safe, and I checked in on Sprocket as Yarick was helping him. His wound had traces of blood magic on it, though dormant again now. I checked my own scars as well, and they'd become inflamed. I do vaguely remember a slight heartburn sensation as we moved on. I think she's getting stronger. Florian's scars were healing once again, but he had seen the same figure I did when we fled. We think that she was trying to get the curse mark back on Florian. Sprocket then came tramping over after his brief chat with Celeste, and he and Florian don't feel a connection together anymore, other than their clear romantic feelings. I so want to help him, but I just know that my kind of meddling will just make things worse. And I feel too responsible for many of the bad things that happened to Florian already. Anyway, we head into the cavern after Gus returns. It's dark, but Ferenz casts some light so that we can see. We eventually reach a rock fall with a dragon claw poking at the bottom. Ferenz checks it to discover that it's severed, along with the evidence of the sapphire we fought and having its lair around here somewhere. We get concerned about the potential of having to fight two upset dragons. Yark and Gus go over the waterfall and find a way through, mentioning something about it being a dwarven-made collapse with a fail-safe escape route built in. As we make it through, we find more dead dwarves, as well as apparently an alive one, who was badly injured. Gus and Celeste ran over to help her. Now, if I told you that this dwarf, who was still alive after a battle that most likely taken place 3 days ago, had confusion and memory loss as to where she was, had an accent that wavered a little bit before settling the same as Gus and Yarrick, wasn't recognized by Gus or Yarrick at all, had bright green eyes the same shade as the scales on the dismembered claw we found, and was missing a hand the same size as that aforementioned claw. I was suspicious, especially as Gus and Yarrick had informed us that emerald dragons were cunning and devious, but we weren't there to slay dragons, and I wasn't certain enough to start slinging accusations around, especially this close to a sapphire dragon's lair. She eventually introduced herself as Dilammer, and agreed to come with us as we traveled to Daghold, but that was as the ground kept rumbling around us. I hope we can solve this war soon. I can't bear the thought of what Dakota's going through.
Thank you very much, Melissa. So, to add to that, you had all just made a stealth check as you had heard the rumbling of the supposed probable sapphire dragon the other side of the rockfall. So, to that end, I need to make a perception check against your combined stealth roll, which was quite high, averaged out at 27. So
Rogue's OP.
I have to.
The rogue did the worst.
Yeah, the rogue got 20. Oh, before I look at that, Ferenz, have you still got light cast on your staff?
No, would have faded.
Okay, cool. Right. Okay, so as you wait silently, still, as this rumbling heads back off down the tunnel from where you came, it doesn't seem to stop. It keeps to carry on going and going and fading into the distance eventually.
As we're sat, laid down, whatever it is, stealthing there,
Right.
can I tell if that was above or underground coming through? As if it had come back through where there was a battle outside of the cave entrance, or whether it was underground in its pathways?
It was literally the other side of the rockfall from you.
Okay.
So yeah, it was underground, as you are underground currently. And it was passing by and scraping along the rockfall that you managed to crawl through.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on the other side of that wall, if you like.
Yeah, okay.
So it was heading back out towards the cave entrance. If you know what I mean, where you've come in from.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, with that said, what would you like to do?
Right then, I'm going to go scout ahead a little bit again. You guys follow on behind.
Yarrick, and I'm not going to whisper, but I am whispering. Might be a good idea to send your high dwarf a message saying that the sapphire is out and about, heading back down towards the base of the mountain.
Yeah, the others who were coming for looking for more people, weren't they? That's a good idea, Florian.
Oh, yeah. Right.
You do that. I'm going up to have a look where we're going from here.
All right.
And I'll head off up the tunnel to scout a bit further.
Fair enough. Make a perception or survival check. Up to you, whichever one.
Both the same. So I'll do a survival. All of 10.
10.
Yeah.
Marvellous. Okay. So you start moving up the tunnel. It's strange. It doesn't seem to be I mean, obviously you haven't been this far west before. You were normally up towards the east and the south, scouting when you were out hunting dragons. But you get the sense as you continue up this pathway that some of this is freshly cut rock, and it's not anything you recognise cutting it. You think it's probably the dragon and or a combination of dwarves hurriedly digging tunnels. And it's strange. You don't seem to get bearings on whether this will lead you back to the city or it's just leading you in circles. You're not really sure.
Okay.
So while Gus is off doing that, does anybody else want to do anything?
Yeah, I will, as instructed, cast sending.
Okay.
Send a message to Thorahilda, who I believe was coming back this way.
Thorahilda and Fergal were heading up a rescue party, weren't they?
And I will say, if anyone's keeping count, hi, Tharo. That's not a word. We're heading back to Daggold through the path you came out of. Definitely a sapphire around here. Avoid, don't kill.
That's it? Okay.
Yorick! Sorry, so I was being handed cake at the same time.
Oh,
Random surprise cake delivery. Lovely.
Cake and insulin. Love my wife.
I mean, you've got to be balanced in all things. There's a brief pause, and Thorahilda answers you. Oh, righto. Okay. Right, so we might just, have you seen any other survivors? Because what we were going to do is head a bit north to try and avoid the sapphire. But, yeah, okay. And that's it. And then a second later it goes, oh, Tharo! She doesn't know. That's probably how you sign off. I don't. So.
Let's have a look. There you are. What level sending?
3, I think.
3, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll send another then.
Okay.
But what about all that healing you were going to do?
Oh, someone else will have to pick up that slack today, I'm afraid.
Okay. Needs must.
Yeah, okay, I'll send a follow-up saying...
Okay.
Found one survivor. Lots are dead, though. Heading north sounds like a good plan. Hopefully see you up there.
Okay.
Yori.
it's canon now.
It's now a thing. Again. Oh, right. Okay. Right. That's bad news then, isn't it? But hopefully we can get somebody surviving up north through the tunnels. Tharo. So, Gus, are you heading back down? How far up the tunnels are you going?
I'll go a good sort of 10 minutes or so and then come back again.
Righto. So we'll let you carry on up to through the tunnels. What are the rest of you doing? You waiting for Gus? You start to head up? What's the plan?
Well, Lorenzo's going to conclude his prayers and then reclaim his staff and shield.
Okay.
And then just nobody's told him what's going on, so he's just going to wait.
Fair enough.
Did we follow him? Eric,
Sorry.
should we follow after Gus or
Sorry,
wait here?
you're very quiet, Celeste.
You are very quiet.
Should we follow after Gus or should we wait here, do you
No, he'll be back in a minute. We'll only go after him if we hear screaming.
Okay,
Oh, we'll just keep an ear out for the dragon while we wait then.
fair enough.
I'll go up to Yorick, pat him on the shoulder, and do my bolstering magic. Okay. Third level spell slot.
Nice. Dwarves looking out for each other, huh? Nice.
Just
Thank you.
Just whilst we've got a few minutes waiting for Gus, with what just happened, I know it was a little bit a while ago, but between me and Spocket and everything, can I see if I can sense Dakota a bit stronger than I have been able to before, being this close?
Sure. Okay.
I'll kind of go down into my sort of like slight meditative state and just try not reach out to her, but try and just sense her a little bit more.
Okay. As you enter your that word state, you sort of reach out, sort of expand your consciousness, as it were, and make me an insight check, please.
An insight check. Too bad. 19.
19. Okay. So you reach out. Very faintly, you can feel her presence. She is still alive. She is still here. Not here, but she's still
Yeah.
available, as it were. And you get the feeling she's once again. You get fear, you get pain.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all you can get, really,
That's fine. Okay.
without being enhanced in by some way in magic.
Yeah. And I suppose everyone will just see Florian sort of come out of this state, what he's done several times before. Be like, kind of like to everyone, I suppose, not to anyone in particular. Good news. Garrick, you probably saved at least 3 of us out there by stopping us from going after Dakota. She is still alive, from what I can sense. In pain, but still alive, so there's still hope to get everything done in time.
Well, I understand your drive to go and save her, doing the same thing, but this is the right thing to do first.
Yeah, but thank you nonetheless. The decision this time wasn't taken lightly to go. I did have a discussion with Madame Miette, as I have been told before I've gone off foolishly. But
Who hasn't?
gives me a little bit of hope, and maybe we can actually. I'll probably put a little bit more weight on this, Chaz. Maybe we can actually. You can actually bring the dwarves and the dragon can together like Reox wants, and make this a better place.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just casually bring peace to 2 warring factions that's lasted a millennia or so. Just get it fixed and we'll ride on to the next thing.
Well, if anyone's got to do it, I'd say it's got to be the best cleric of Reox to do so.
Great, mate.
I nearly said champion, but I thought that would be me Not Florian saying that.
I'd have time to say.
Okay. Gus,
You're
as you sort of reach almost the end of this passageway, it sort of splits into 3 different possible ways. Do you want to carry on down one of these ways, or you want to head back, or what do you want to do?
I like to head about 10 feet into each one and sniff and see if I can smell fresh air. Because, underground air is stale and musty and horrible. See if I can detect fresh air.
Okay. So, if you can, which one are you going to first?
The one on the left.
On the left. Okay, make a perception check, please.
Okay. That's an 8.
You don't smell any difference.
Okay, I'll go to the one in the middle.
Okay, and again.
That's a 22.
So 22. Something about this one smells a bit too dragony for your liking.
Okay,
It's a bit...
I'll go to the right hand one.
Okay, same again.
And that's a natural 20 for 23.
23. Again, no fresh air, but you can smell that distinctive smell of bloodshed, both dwarven and dragon.
Right, well, that's the way to go then. That's the way they'll have come down. So we go right here. I better go back and get everyone now.
Okay. I'd like a stealth check from you going back, please.
Okay. That's a 30.
30. Wow. Okay. Fine. As you quickly and quietly make your way down the tunnels, noting landmarks as you go, you appear once more in that small clearing by the rubble and see all of your friends waiting for you.
Right, everyone, get ready to go. We'll be going in 2 minutes.
Jesus, where did you come from?
Oh, sorry, I forgot I was sneaking. I want you to just come and have a look at this stonework a minute before we leave.
Yeah, right.
Take him about 30 feet up the tunnel.
Okay.
And ostensibly be pointing out the stonework, the strangeness of it that I saw. And I'll whisper to him in Dwarvish. You know that lady we found? Bridris says she's a not dwarf. Like, a bit like Sprocket's a not dwarf, but is a dwarf. And she's a not dwarf and is a dwarf, but she's a different not dwarf. I don't quite understand it myself, but he said she's not dwarf.
Interesting.
Deep intellectual description.
But what I think is, she looks like a dwarf and sounds like a dwarf, so we've got to look at
Maybe the orcs changed her into a dwarf as well.
Well, that's what I was thinking. But so I think what we'll do is I'll walk with her when we're going up and keep an eye. Not because she's pretty, mind. It's not because of that.
Yeah.
I'll just keep an eye on her.
I mean, we ain't seen a good dwarven lady beard in too long.
I know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Gus has got a crush.
She's got a crush on everybody.
This is true.
Last one was an orc.
That also true.
What about the what about the Midwoods? You hooked up in the Midwoods.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What happened?
The orc was a long time ago.
What
Got
happened?
some tail that day.
He's in the Midwoods.
You got some tail.
Yeah,
He-
I've got my
he
own
used his
tail
mid-
as well now.
He used his
Yeah,
mid-move.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right, moving swiftly on, because that's getting a bit
Please.
tiresome. Okay, so you are starting to move up the tunnel, yes?
Yeah, and I'll go and stand. Did we get her name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Her name is, where is it? Delama.
Delama, yeah.
Delama.
Right, miss, do you want to come with us? Look, you can hold my arm if you like and help you up because you're wounded and stuff.
I mean, that's a bit forward, but
I'm just trying to help.
but I think I'm all right. You've very kindly given me lots of healing, so I think I'd be all right, actually.
All right.
But thank you for the offer. You've got quite a nice beard.
Well, thank you.
She strokes her own beard.
And just carry on walking.
So, are you going stealthily or are you going normally? What's the plan?
I think we'll go everywhere stealthily in these tunnels.
Okay, then I'm gonna need a group stealth check, please.
I have passed without a trace on it. Lasts an hour. I don't know if it's still
When
going.
did you
at this point.
cast that though? That was
It's when we
quite some
first
time
started going
ago.
into the tunnel.
Yeah, I'll say that's probably dropped off.
Okay, I will recast then.
Okay. So everybody stealth roll with a +10.
Cool.
Oh, okay, that makes
I'm
things better.
really glad you had that +10 there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's go round the room. Celeste.
27.
27. Lovely. Ferenz.
22 with disadvantage.
22. Lovely. And Florian.
17.
17. Nice. Gus.
24.
24. Melissa.
29.
29. Lovely. Very high. Yorick.
22.
22. Good stuff. Sprocket.
23.
23. Dwarf boys are doing it all right again. And Miss Kitty Cat, what do you get?
32.
22.
I am no longer carrying
Yeah,
rogue
yeah.
shame.
30.
She's learned how to rogue.
32.
I remembered how to rogue.
Okay. So, as you make your way following, I'm assuming Gus you're leading, or is it Yorick that's leading?
I'll let Yorick lead because I'm escorting Delamar.
Okay.
You'll have to tell me where to go, though, because I don't know what route you just...
Go up the bloody tunnel, you numpty.
Oh, right. Is there just the one? I didn't know if you'd split off.
Just the one till it gets to a split. I'll tell you where to go when we get. You want to go right there because the other tunnels, one smells of nothing, one smells of dragons, and the other one smells of death. So we want to go down the one that smells of death.
Actually, yeah.
Right. Okay. Love your reasoning. So,
Are you sure about that?
Well, yeah. If there's dead bodies down there, that's mean the way the dwarves came, isn't it?
I guess.
I mean,
Yeah.
if
Does make sense.
no other reason to be dead dwarfs down there, is there?
But what if it's dead dragon?
Well,
What
I
if it's
smell dead
The
dwarfs.
dragon that is
smell dragon
waiting to
blood.
ambush us with dead dwarves.
It
We
might
could-
be, but then
we
we'll
could-
just have to deal with it and persuade it that we're not enemies, we're friends.
There is a possibility, of course, that we might find some more survivors if we are lucky.
That is also true.
Can I ask a fitty question, dear?
of course.
Do you
Um,
ever not ask those, Fiddy?
Yeah, I sometimes ask actually quite straight and easy to answer questions.
Sometimes.
And some questions aren't filled with a load of fucking gump because I don't know what to say. However, I am a rising cartographer as such, and am quite proficient with the tools and everything.
Yes.
Knowing where we came through, where we found the first camp with the dead dwarves, where we fought Lork, and where we've been and where
Okay.
we've gone up to the mountain, can I tell what possible direction we are now going in if we're going to go back to that one? Because we knew that there was dead bodies inside that cave.
Right, so what you're actually asking, if I get this straight, forgive me if I'm wrong.
No,
is,
go on.
Are you about to head to something that you sensed before? When
Yeah,
you
or
were
have seen. Yeah.
In that, okay.
Yeah.
Make me a survival check. If you don't have proficiency, add your proficiency bonus
Okay.
because of your cartography skills.
That was
classic Fideism.
It was a very.
It was.
good
It was.
excellent.
That's not too bad.
really
So
did enjoy
survival,
it.
yeah.
Yes, please.
So survival is that would be 16 plus 4 with proficiency, so non-natural 20.
20. Okay. You, from your positioning and the angle of the tunnel and the direction that you feel you're going in, and you've got a fairly good grasp of the directions, you would suggest that you are not currently heading, which would essentially be south. You are heading east. East-northeast at the moment. So
Okay.
you would think probably not that same place.
Yeah. Okay. Got ya.
It means the right direction.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I know. I was just. I appreciate. Cool. I'll
Never
probably
eat shredded wheat.
say. I won't say anything, but no, it's fine. If it needs to be, I can say something.
So you move off up the tunnel with various shades of stealthiness, thanks to Celeste sort of muffling your footsteps. Miette is just absolutely silent. She pads along her paws, and sometimes you look around and you can't see Miette. She's just vanished. So, unlike Cat on Stream, obviously, who's graced us with her presence once more. So, you wander along this tunnel. Takes about 15-20 minutes because you're going very stealthily, very slowly. And you reach this, not really a clearing, more sort of a distinct set of tunnels. 3 of them. Now, Yorick, Gus had already told you that he thinks you should go right. Do you wish to do that?
I will just head straight to the right
Okay.
without stopping.
So you all head down this right-hand tunnel, and it's very strange. It feels like a very hastily chipped at tunnel, and you can see the telltale signs of, well, Gus, Yorick, you can. Telltale signs of a sapphire burrowing through here. But there's also been amendments by dwarven tools. And I would like a perception check from you, please, Yorick.
It's only 27.
Only 27. Okay. Well, that's a real shame because you spot immediately where it looks like a pit trap
Ooh.
has been dug. You can see it and you can see the mechanism. And it looks like it's been hastily made. You spot it very easily. And it looks as though it's probably non-functional.
Right.
As there
Would
appears
this
to
be
be.
dwarven handiwork?
Yes, definitely dwarven handiwork. That's why you spotted it so easily.
I wouldn't have expected dragons to make traps for dwarves,
No.
but I thought I'd check.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely the other way around. You can tell it probably isn't operational. You think it probably once was, because the floor is very uneven and there are sort of jagged, pointy rocks that stretch across the pathway.
Right. Is it full width of the tunnel?
Full width of the tunnel, and it's about 50 feet long.
Ooh.
This is a pit trap for a dragon, so
Yeah.
this is not a small pit trap. But by the view that it is full of these pointy rocks, you suspect it's already been triggered.
Interesting.
So you can march straight across, or you can stop and take a look. Up to you.
Yeah.
Or set your rogue on it. Whatever.
I'll put the hands up. Gus,
Yeah.
pit trap.
Ooh,
Been triggered, right?
looks like it.
Do you have a peek? Do you reckon there's a dead dragon in there?
Oh, I hope. Well, I hope not, because
Or should we just carry on going?
maybe we can just lift up one bit and have a look underneath, see what's in there.
Do you want to have a look?
All right. And I'll try and lift a bit of the paving up or the cover up or whatever's on top of the
Okay,
trap.
give me a strength check.
Might need your help with this.
Yeah, I should have done it, shouldn't I?
14.
14. You move one of these large pointy rocks, sort of lift it up a little bit. As you look underneath, you can see that there's lots of rocks underneath it. It's definitely been triggered. It looks like the whole of the walls of the pit were triggered to collapse in on themselves. And you can just see a sort of wingtip, a green wingtip, sticking out. Doesn't appear to be moving. The rock slams back down.
See, told you I was strong. Anyway,
For you.
yeah, it looks like there's something in there.
Right.
But it does look as though it's been triggered, so it should be safe enough for us to walk across as long as we're careful.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
And
So-
I'll go across first. I'll tell Gus to just hang back as I sort of test the waters.
Okay, so you gingerly make your way across this sort of avoiding the very sharp, sometimes pointy parts of these rocks. But yeah, you get to the other end of the 50 feet without issue, going carefully.
All right, come on then. It's safe.
I'll go next.
Okay, so one by one, you make your way across this pit, unless anybody wants to do anything with the pit trap. You get to the other side.
I'd probably have gone last. Can I see, after Gus has said that there's something in there,
Uh-huh.
can I just see if there's any reaction from...
Certainly, make an insight check.
Glad someone did. Of course it was Philly.
Oh, that's good. Natural 19 for 26.
26. Okay. Sorry, just looking up something.
Philly, I reckon your next character should be an overly trusting type that doesn't inside check people.
Not a chance.
Like,
Even when I wasn't proficient in insight, I still did it, didn't I?
Yeah. Just for the briefest instant, you see a look of absolute horror appear on her face. Just really very brief. Nobody else would have spotted this, just you.
Okay. I keep going for the time being, I don't.
You do also notice she walks slightly to the side of the pit trap, as if trying not to stand directly on whatever's buried underneath there.
Yeah.
Is there any indication of what it is, or obviously would assume it was a dragon, but
I mean, you can take a look if you want to try and move one of the rocks again. But Gus saw it as he was just moved the rock, but the rock is now back in place. I'm not sure you would have seen it, but you would. I don't know, Gus, did you describe what it was, or did you just say there was something in there?
There's something in there.
Did you want to lift up one of the rocks and take a look?
no, he'll make an assumption and just be muttering a short prayer as we walk across.
Okay.
And sprinkle some of the crystal dust from his pouch just across it
Okay.
as he walks.
Just as we're going across, because this has occurred to me, I want to have a look at the mechanism of the trap. So as to give myself give myself an advantage if we come across more of them that haven't been triggered.
Okay. Certainly, make an investigation check. with your proficiency, obviously, because traps.
Yeah, no.
No?
Unless proficiency is giving me a lot, that was a 4.
No. This,
No.
from what you can tell in your sort of hurried glance at this mechanism, it seems overly complex. Perhaps asking Gus or Yorick might be easier, as they're used to this sort of thing.
Oh well.
Worth a go, though. Definitely worth a go. So,
It is a shame our only rogue Snow has left the party.
yeah, you really ought to get another rogue for the party.
No, we've got Gus the rogue.
Oh yeah, Gus the rogue. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. So you carry on along this tunnel, and it's starting to get more dwarven built, as it were, rather than a mixture of sapphire dragon tunneling and dwarven architecture. It's now fully, almost 100% sort of dwarven excavated. You can see the sides of the walls smooth or smoothing out, and you can hear in the distance noise, sort of a background noise, which Gus, Yorick, you would recognise as a lava flow. It's still pretty far away, but you recognise that with the lava flows that surround Daghold itself, that it's probably a smaller tributary of that, or a fresh one. You don't know. You haven't been down this way before. So carry on.
Yeah.
You see. Let's have a look. Yeah. You watch as the architecture sort of widens out in the passageway into a clearing. And again, this is something you would recognise. It's a trap again. It's to draw dragons in, as there are smaller exits on the other side of this wide 100-foot by 100-foot cavern. And as you approach, the smell hits you first. The smell of blood, death. And Yorick, as you get towards the edge of this opening, you can see there are 50, 60 dwarves lying, various states, all dead. There are 2 topaz dragons here as well, also dead. This is total carnage.
See, this is what we've got to stop.
Gotta stop, innit?
This is terrible. I just want to go around and start checking the bodies, making sure they're all dead and everything.
Yeah. Same.
They are very definitely dead. They've been dead a while. You would suggest probably a week or more.
Friends will head for the dragons.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to just quickly, friends, say to you, can you say a prayer for the dragons? I'll do the dwarves.
I'm already on it, Mr. Yorick.
I'd probably double check to make sure the dragons are definitely dead as well.
Oh, they are definitely dead as well. Again, about a week or so. Same as the dwarves. It is fairly obvious that the dragons were lured here or got here. Reading parts of the battlefield, you suspect that the dwarves were not quite as prepared as they should have been and were massacred before taking the dragons down. The 2 topaz dragons look fairly large for topazes. Topazes tend to be smaller on the smaller side, but these 2 are pretty big and pretty ferocious.
Yeah. So across each one, friends would just walk forward. He'd plant the spike of his shield in the ground and just lean his staff on it, and you just see this flare of white flame come out, across both of his hands, and it just sort of just come up his arms and across his armour. And you just hear him start to sway and sort of just start to speak the prayers of the Great One.
Okay. In Draconic,
as in Draconic, with a mix of Celestial as well. Like he was taught the funerary rites for the dragons.
Okay. Pretty good. So as that's happening, anybody else want to do anything?
They're all moving up forwards. I'm just going to take a quick look at what Delamere is doing.
Delamere is just looking at this scene, just horrified.
I'll step over. You alright there?
Oh, no, look. Everyone's dead. This isn't right, is it?
No. Definitely don't look right to me.
I mean, there's so many of them. They're dead.
Death on both sides of the war.
Yeah, I do, but it shouldn't be right. It's not right.
That's why we're coming up this way.
Well, I think I might have been a bit wrong about things. I need to think about things, I think.
I'm going to bend over. I'm going to kind of lean down a little bit and kind of just say, I hope that you're able to recover soon. It's a nasty wound you took.
Okay. Make a perception. What's your passive perception, actually?
My passive perception is 15.
15. Okay. I think I'll be alright. Thanks to your friends, it was very kind of them to help me.
That's what we're here to do. Bring some kindness and happiness back to the world.
Well, yeah, we can't have all this, can we?
Precisely.
I mean, it's all a bit, I don't know, a bit, horrible. So, anybody else doing anything?
If I see Delamar's a bit upset, I want to go up to her and say, look, I know what will cheer you up.
What?
My cousin Yorick here, he's brilliant at making stuff.
Right.
And once you've got all this sorted out and the war's over and stuff, I'll ask him to make you a new hand.
Oh, there's no need for that. See, look, it's grown back already.
What?
Well, they grow back, don't they? Oh, shit. Wait,
What?
well, yeah, no, I'll have, yeah, that'd be really kind. Oh, fuck.
I think it was your other hand.
Was it? Oh, shit.
Yeah,
then?
Well, I'm a special kind of dwarf that is regenerative, probably.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's cool. Did Reorx give you that power?
Yeah, absolutely.
How?
You were right, Yorick. Well done.
I'm assuming I don't need to make an insight to know that this is bullshit.
Make an insight check.
You're telling me that Reorx gave you this power?
Well, yeah. When I spoke to them, they said to me that I could have a special power that allows me to regenerate myself when I am really very badly injured, but only once or twice, you see. What'd you get?
22.
22.
Well, that is super cool.
She seems absolutely genuine. You're not getting any kind of lie from her.
Not even from my previous checks and
I mean,
reactions?
your previous checks were your previous checks. This check,
What
she doesn't appear to be telling an untruth.
what did you have to do to get that power out of?
Well, what I did well, it's a bit personal, really. I mean,
You can tell me.
Well,
I'm the champion of.
are you?
That's very rude. You should know that, Sprocket.
Are you
You
a
don't-
champion? How did you become a champion then? Did you
Oh, it's a very.
Did you have to do anything special? Did you have to go on a quest or something?
Yes.
Cool. What was your quest?
Well, we'll talk about that another time. Tell me about your.
Well, hang on a minute. So you're allowed to ask me, and I have to answer, but you don't have to answer. That seems a bit unfair. Would you agree, Mr. Gus?
Absolutely. You're being rude again, Sprocket.
Not being rude.
I mean, are you even a dwarf?
No,
You don't smell like a dwarf. You don't smell like Gus here.
I'm not a dwarf.
You're not a dwarf. Right. So you're just dwarf shaped.
Yes.
Cool. Why?
Oh, so you're allowed to ask.
Well, fair's fair, isn't it? You're asking me questions, I'm asking you questions. See, that's how conversations work. You know about conversations?
Never mind, and I'll just walk away.
I mean, is he always like this, Gus?
Most of the time, yes.
How weird.
I know. But he's nice, really, but he's just a bit... He doesn't really know how to be with people, especially not be dwarves.
Oh, right, I see. Why did he say he's not a dwarf?
Well, he sort of is and sort of isn't.
Oh.
A bit confusing. I'm finding it confusing myself, really.
Right. Strokes. I mean. So... No, I'm confused. I don't understand.
It's best not to think about it. It makes your head hurt.
Okay. So, we should
Move on,
go
I
and
think.
stop a war then, right? Is that what
I
we're
think
doing?
that's the plan.
Right, so
So
anybody
how
else?
do we get out of this big death chamber then?
There are 3 exits on the other side of this chamber. All have portcullis which are dropped.
Are they all dwarf sized now, are they?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll go up to them and give them a good sniff again.
Okay, make a perception check.
So 15.
15.
This one.
Okay. Yeah, that seems to lead towards the lava, definitely.
Okay. 19 for the
19.
second one.
As does this one, weirdly.
Okay. Natural 20 for 23.
23. This one smells the same. They all appear to lead back and join up, you suspect. As you've seen similar traps, not on this scale, but you've seen similar sort of dragon traps before, where they would build sort of 3 dwarven entrances so that the dwarves can pile through onto the trap dragon. But they all lead to the same place, if you know what I mean.
So with those perception checks, would I be able to make a decision as to which was the right one, the best one to go down?
They all appear pretty much the same, to be honest.
Right, I think that you know what this is, Yorick. This is one of those things where they all join up. I think.
Yeah.
So I think we just need to see which one we can open because they've all got these porting culling things, big metal gates on.
Yep. Should I try and lift one?
Go on then. You're the strong one. I've already used my muscles for today.
I'll just go to the middle one, try and grab it and lift.
Okay. So you grab and lift. Make a strength check for me.
Probably should have checked for a lever or something. It feels like the sort of thing that we just have a lever for. Oh, that's for 20 for 24.
24. It's not budging. Strange.
Wasted an extra 20.
And you look either side and you realise that, of course, it's not budging. It doesn't go up. I mean, you've come across these sorts of things before. All three of the doors will do a different thing.
Okay.
One will go down, one will go across, one will go up. It's to try and minimise people brute forcing their way through. Because dwarves are clever when they design stuff.
Not when they have to use it, though.
Apparently not. But
Oh.
if he'd just had a look at it first.
I'm being given the law in real time here. Don't judge me for that.
No, absolutely not. So, as you push aside the door, which still takes a hell of an effort, but you got a natural 20 and you make it across. You can feel that just sort of lick of warmth as you step into this entryway. That lick of warmth that promises lava and heat and the possibility of forges not too far behind. Almost home.
Oh, that does starting to smell like home, innit? Right, everyone, get your summer coats on. It's gonna get warm.
Yay.
Okay. Well, you're still you still have the buff.
Yes, we do.
So you
Yeah.
should all be, what was it?
Resistant to fire.
Resistant to fire. So, and the same as the fire waste. Yorick, when you step in, you can just, that little tingle of warmth, you know lava is close because it's your home, you know. So you go up the tunnel. Are you going quietly again, or are you still?
Oh yeah, still be going quietly.
So I need a new stealth check, please, as you were all being quite
I'm
noisy.
assuming it's not been an hour yet.
No,
has it?
not yet. Pass of that trace is still up, so still got your plus 10.
Can I ask one thing, Chaz?
Sure.
Can we not fight anything today? Because I'm rolling really good. And I think when I fight, it's going to go to shit.
I mean,
You shouldn't have said that, Fiddy. You shouldn't have said that.
I can't
You
promise
think-
anything. There are things down here that
I
are
know,
best
I know.
left undisturbed. So up to you, really. Depends on which way you go, what happens. So, Celeste,
32.
32. You are the knight. Firenze,
18.
18. Melissa,
15?
15. Gus,
31.
31. Another knight fallen people. What's your name? Florian,
31.
31. Wow, more knight people. Yorick,
15.
15. Another day. Another day person.
We've had no one in the 20s yet.
Sprocket,
21.
21. There's a 20. And Miss Kitty Cat,
Also 21.
21. Okay. Back in the daylight then. Fair enough.
Before we moved off, Firenze would have lifted a single scale from each of the dragons,
Okay.
and just put it in his pouch for later.
Okay. Fair enough. You say you could do that fairly easily. You don't need a roll for one of the smaller scales from these topaz dragons. So, you carefully and quietly make your way along this latest tunnel, and you get to a sort of, after about 150 feet or so, you emerge into a corridor carved out of the rock. It goes left and right. Which way do you want to go?
I take it we can deduce from that those are the other two tunnels going back to the big...
No, you've emerged from a tunnel.
Oh, right.
It's like a T-junction. So it goes left and right.
Oh, right, okay. Well, my nose hasn't let me down so far, so I'm going to have a good sniff down each one.
Okay. Make some perception checks, please. Very
This is how you navigate underground, you see.
Apparently so.
So
Who knew?
9 first one,
19. And the other one?
and a natural 20 for 23 on the other one.
Okay, so
It works.
you watch as Gus sort of scuttles down to the left for a while, sniffing the air, and then sort of scurries back to the right, sniff that air,
I just kind of look to Yorick and does he normally do this a lot?
Yeah, this is normal. How do you navigate?
With my eyes, generally.
It's dark down here.
All looks the same down here.
True. That's interesting.
Gus. Again, you get the feeling this corridor bends round and joins, so it doesn't really matter which way you go. But you do smell down the left-hand side, just very faintly, dragon.
Right, I think we should go right.
You are?
All right.
So,
All right.
very funny. Melissa made it funny. So
I don't do it often.
you turn to the right-hand corridor. It does, imperceptibly at first, start to curve around. It curves. It goes on for quite some time, about sort of 20, 25 minutes, just walking down this beautifully carved, almost circular tunnel so it's got a flat roof, a flat floor. It's perfectly smooth floor, and the walls just sort of curve to meet the ceiling. It's actually really beautiful and incredibly well done. To Gus and Yorick, it's just normal. This is, dwarven made stone tunnel, not a problem. It's a walkway. So as you curve round, the heat starts to get a little bit more noticeable, and you emerge into a chamber with a sort of flagstone floor, which is about 100 feet long. And you can see on the other side another entrance opposite you, exactly the same as the one you've just come out of. But to your right is a river of magma, lava, call it what you will. I'm sure the geologist will pick me up on whichever one it is. Yeah, I know, I've caused twitching. It's a river of molten rock, essentially. Very hot.
We'll go with that.
Slowly moving its way through this chamber. On the other side of it, it's about 30, 35 feet wide. The other side is another flagstone floor that opens up into an enormous cavern, and in the distance you can see lights. Not fire, but lights. The lights of home.
Is there a bridge across the molten rock?
Is not, which is surprising.
Yes, it
You
is.
would expect a bridge to be here.
Are there remains of a bridge?
Make a perception or investigation check.
Hey, Gus, just summon your draconic friend. They can be a bridge for us.
What, you mean this bridge for us right here that's behind me?
No, I didn't know they were there.
That was a 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
You look about.
Good old noses.
Yeah, it's like, there should be a bridge. Why isn't there a bridge? Why would you not put a bridge here? It's a perfect spot for a bridge.
You're the buildy person. Why is there no bridge here?
Because there was, and it got destroyed.
Oh.
Would be my natural conclusion.
But that wouldn't help at all, because if it was to stop dragons could fly across, couldn't they?
Or maybe it accidentally got destroyed by a dragon as dwarves were fleeing or something.
How big did you say the gap was, DM?
About 35 feet.
I'll say to I'll turn to Delamar and say, do you remember when you came through here, if there was a bridge or not? Because it seems to have gone.
I'm sure there was.
That's really weird, isn't it?
It's very strange.
Have a look.
Across then.
Right. Anyone, what stuff have people got on them? Anyone got any wood or rope or things?
I've got some rope, 50 foot like, and I've got some.
50 foot of rope. That'll be perfect.
I've got a bedroll.
You can
Bedroll. Well, if we
tie
had
a
a
bedroll
lot.
to each end of a stick. And
Fuck off! I knew that was coming. I knew it.
When anyone says bedroll, we all look at Fiddy now.
Yes, you do.
I hate to interrupt the planning, but I could always turn myself into some sort of flying creature and ferry everyone across one at a time.
You don't have to worry, Celeste. I've got some paint. And I'm going to reach into my bag and pull out my little wooden box of marvellous pigments.
okay.
What's doing your makeup going to do to help this?
I check the box. No, this one isn't my makeup box.
Right.
You remember when we was in the sewers after Droust got us teleported away?
Yeah.
Y'all found that chest and had these paints in it.
The monster's treasure in there.
Yeah.
There's like a surprising amount of paint in these pots, and I reckon if you gave me a good few minutes, I could paint us up a new bridge.
I
Possibly.
can literally make a bridge out of some raw material in 10 minutes. It's up to you. If you want to use your paint, then go for it.
You're going to need a lot of paint.
Is there normally any traps on the other side here, or would it be?
No, the other side is home. Shouldn't really be trapped that close to home, or unless they make ship trapped in an emergency.
So is it? I mean, I can pretty much make it across with no bridge, so I can check to make sure it's good to do and wait 10 minutes before you do that.
You can jump 35 feet.
No, I can just
Yeah.
run. I can just run up against the walls and I'm fine.
I'm just thinking about this paint. I think it might be a bit difficult for me to paint a bridge when I can't get to the other side.
You know what you could do? As Florian's just given me a really good idea. You could paint steps into the rock wall around over the top of it, couldn't you? At the sides, you know where it goes into the rocks. You could just paint a few steps over the top there, and we could just walk over.
I don't care what we do, as long as just pick an idea and go with it. Otherwise, we'll be here till we die.
Or Yorick could make some, because like that wouldn't be too difficult.
If everyone just lobs all their rope on the floor, I will turn it into a bridge.
I have
Florian,
50.
if you can get over the other side, I can lob one end to you and you can pin it down somewhere.
If you've got a pit on, you can give me and a hammer, and I can just take the rope in my hand and run across.
Gus,
Yeah.
Bridges just sort of looks at you. What are you doing?
They're trying to get across here because it's
Okay.
like burny. Yeah, that's all right. You've got wings. We haven't got wings.
Give him the rope.
She flies back. Well, I could take stuff across.
That would be good.
What do you want me to take?
Well, Yorick will give you some stuff to take across, and
Oh, right, okay.
and
Or we could just get on bridge.
she's not big enough to fly with people yet.
I mean,
I'm sure she can go.
she is, but
I'm assuming by this point you're having this conversation, but Yorick is handing me the rope and that. I'm assuming because
So with
I guess.
I don't understand it.
Yeah,
Oh, it's in Draconic.
Yeah.
and you've got some friends who can understand it.
So
what are we doing then? Should I make a bridge?
Idris says she can take stuff over there for you, like the end of the rope and stuff, and then Florian could spike it into the ground or something. I don't know how to make bridges. I'm not a builder.
Did she carry people across?
I don't think so. She's not really that big.
would I know from what I know about dragons whether she was big enough to carry people across, with the exception of possibly myself?
Bridges would probably be able to carry some of the smaller members of the party, so Gus or Yorick, or Sprocket, or the lighter members of the party, possibly Miet.
Yeah.
maybe Celeste, dependent.
If she wasn't being a strong teenager.
Well, I will have sat on the floor and started casting Fabricate on all the rope that people have dropped.
Okay.
Basically make like the old sort of three rope bridge with all of the, oh my god, I can't describe anything. Like
Yeah, so you got-
three long ropes, about 40 feet long, all connected together by intermediary short ropes.
Okay.
Like right rope, but with supports.
Yes.
This reminds me of like the Cubs when they used to split you into groups. And, like, first one to get across, and we've got 3 different projects going on.
Exactly. Can you stand up this piece of paper with only a paperclip?
Once, Yarick, I have had an idea though. We could use my paints to anchor the ropes, make sure they don't fall out.
I'm just dwarvish.
I was aiming to say this once you finished.
If you,
Okay.
Gus, if you put the other end of the rope in Bridget's mouth and tell her not to let go until I get over there, I can take them out one by one and secure them.
I would probably say that Bridgerith might be able to carry the dwarves over. Maybe Miss Miette there and possibly Miss Celeste, but probably not.
Unless Bridges can take everyone, that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, when she carries the bridge over, maybe she could take a couple of people, which is less people to walk across and possibly fall in the bloody lava.
So, I mean, you could use the paints on the other side to anchor the rope.
Hold on. I think that's very much up to Bridris, isn't it? I don't think she's big enough, but I'll ask her. Bridris,
Yes, Mum.
would you be able to fly me across there?
I mean, probably.
I don't know if you're strong enough yet. Your wings are strong enough. Do you think they are?
Sort of looks at you for a bit. Are you doing reversible psychologicals on me?
No, I was just asking a question.
Oh, okay. Well, in answer to your question, Mum, I would happily fly you across.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, let's give it a try then.
Okay, jump on
and
it. Oh, don't jump. Just get on.
Yeah, well, wait till Yorick's finished his ropey thing, and I can hold on to the ropey thing, and you can fly me across, and then we can fix it down the other side for the rest of them.
Righto.
What I'm going to do is...
What about not Dwarf there? She could fly across, could she?
She hasn't got any wings.
Really? Okay.
You can flap her arms really hard, but I don't know if that'll work.
Delamar doesn't appear to be paying any attention to any of this.
Okay.
Where's she looking at the moment?
She is looking and watching the lava flow.
Fair enough.
So,
Right.
Eve,
Here you go. Hold on to these 3 bits, take them over, and you want to get them pinned in a nice triangle formation.
have you got an hammer and some pins then? Because I haven't got nothing like that.
Yeah.
Here. I've just been using my paints to basically secure the ropes in place as Yorick's got them set out. And I'll give Gus my paints. And take these for the moment. You should be able to paint something to secure them in place.
So what is it you've painted already?
I don't know how Yorick had the ropes arranged. I assume like
You kind of need 2 like spears in the ground to fix the top 2 points to, and then the third point in the middle needs fixing to the floor.
It would probably need 2 large posts and a crossbar.
Yeah, I've done like a pair of tall posts where the rope is secured inside the stone, and then another securing on the floor for the rope along the bottom.
So I'll have a good look at that before I get on Bridris, just to make sure I know what I'm doing.
Cool.
But I've never painted anything before, so it might be interesting.
Okay. So you get gingerly onto Bridris. She sort of...
And I'm holding the ropes very tight and a bit nervous.
Right, you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm totally strong enough to do this.
Okay, that's good. I believe in you.
Probably.
And I'll hold on tight.
And she...
Can I cast guidance on Bridris before she goes?
Sure. She takes a few steps back and then sort of launches herself forwards and up. It's very fast. Gus, you sort of like... Whoa! And I would like you to make an athletics check for Bridris, please.
Whilst they're starting to fly over,
With a D4 because of guidance.
For
Whilst-
Bridges.
Was it a D4 guidance? Yeah.
whilst they about to take off, I'm just gonna pass it across the other side,
6.
so I can give Gus a hand painting
Okay.
the spikes and everything.
Make an acrobatics check, please.
It shouldn't matter because I can run across vertical and that surfaces without falling.
Of course you can. Don't mug shit. Yeah, sure.
I ran up a wall once.
Prince of Persia this up in this bitch.
Okay.
That's it.
13.
13.
Reference.
I mean, she takes off and it's fast, and then she sort of starts to drop a bit too fast for your liking. She's getting a little bit too close to the lava. You starting to get kind of worried, and she just makes it. I mean, she was flapping her wings, but she's like just hits the scrabbling on the far edge of the.
Oh,
over the
that
lava.
was exciting. You did a brilliant job.
Oh, thanks, Mum. Oh, it's kind of scary, but
Was.
right. Yeah, so you can get off now. I don't like it. I've decided.
Right,
Only
okay.
you. I'm not doing that again, though. I don't
Okay.
like it.
And I'll hop off. And then I'll go and try and draw the same sort of thing that, or paint the same
Okay.
sort of thing that I saw painted.
A performance check.
I will
and
be helping
as,
him, obviously.
Florian is helping. You can have advantage.
Good.
I'd imagine
It
it's
is a
probably
50.
light. I'd imagine Celeste is probably lighter than the dwarves, to be honest.
Probably. 15.
50.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you managed to get a serviceable copy of what Melissa did on the other side.
And I'll attach the
Attach
ropes.
the ropes to it.
I see the
You now
damage.
have a rope bridge across the lava river. How long the rope will last and not burn through, who knows?
We should probably hotfoot it across.
Melissa,
Can I
spending too much time with Yorick, you have.
Tonight we mourn Melissa, who fell completely accidentally into the lava.
Can I now we know that they're in there, Chaz? Can I go back to the other side? And I would like to. How from where the bridge is? How tall is the roof of this cave bit? Like, what's the distance?
Well, on the side where all your friends are at the moment, the distance is about 50 foot to the roof of the cave.
Mhm.
On the side where you, Gus, and Bridris are, there it's. You haven't got dark vision, so you can't tell, but you can't see the ceiling.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Then. I'll stay where I am. I was going to say, I would have gone back to the other side and like ran across in case they looked like somebody was falling off, and I could try and catch them, but I'm not going to.
Okay, so with that being
just-
said,
Start going across the bridge before it catches fire.
yeah. So who's going first?
I will be going last, and I will make sure that everybody's off the bridge before I start my journey.
Okay,
I'm gonna go first.
you're going first. So I want athletics or acrobatics, your choice. As you,
I'll
are
be
you
like, guidance as everybody's getting on.
okay? Are you going swiftly? Are you going slowly and carefully? The DC is different for each one.
I won't go quickly, but I'm not gonna go like step.
Okay,
I'm just gonna take it normally.
okay. Make your roll
Acrobatics
with guidance.
with guidance. Acrobatics. It's good job I'm proficient in that. 19.
19. Yeah, Melissa makes her way confidently, as Melissa does, over the rope bridge and down to the other side. Who's next?
Make it over to the side, or I'll reclaim my paints.
Okay.
I'll go over next.
Okay, Yorick. Again, are you going slowly?
I'm going pretty quick. I'm confident that.
Okay. All right. Make your roll with guidance.
Let's roll the d4 first. 4 on the d4.
Excellent.
Athletics. So 22 total.
22. Yeah, not a problem. Yorick again. Swiftly across. Who's next?
I'd make sure everybody else was going first because I can get over there myself if need be.
Okay.
I'll go, but before I go, seeing that Friends is quite big, I will do another bolster magic. So he gets to roll a d3 and add to a check
Okay.
for 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then I will, not to be put off by Yorick, I will try and mimic Yorick, just stride.
Okay. Make your roll with
Still guidance.
guidance.
Doing a bounce in the middle.
Okay, so it's 2 on the dice. And so it's 13 overall, though.
13
Is
overall.
that with guidance?
Yeah. 2 plus 8 plus 3.
Okay. So, you get about 3/4 of the way across, and you look down and you can see the lava just sort of it just catches your foot as you go across. You spent just a little bit too long there, and you take 9 points of fire damage, halved to 4 because of your resistance to fire damage that the buff from the forest gave you. But you make it safely across.
Okay.
With some very hot feet.
Yeah, I won't show that I've been damaged away.
And in the normal Sprocket Trelador way, yeah, that's fine.
Does Delamar come across?
Delamar's going next. Are you guidancing her?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She just sort of strolls straight across. Doesn't seem to be bothered by the flames or anything. She almost stops halfway just to look at it going underneath her, and then carries on again. Who's next?
Still on me.
So at this point, it's myself, Celeste, and Friend left
Correct.
on this side. Yeah. So I'll turn around to both of them and it's like, you have your own plans.
Well, I can still make it across if something was to happen to the bridge, so I'm going to go last.
Well, no, I don't want. I want everybody across, and then I'll go across myself. I am quite capable, and I've got the Great One watching out for me. So off you go.
You don't have to call me the Great Old One.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about you, Moody.
Go on, Miet.
Fair enough. I will shrug, and I will opt to go across the bridge fabulously.
Fabulously. Fantastic. Well, you, in that case, can make acrobatics, athletics, or performance. As you're going fabulously.
And you still get a D4.
With your D4.
That's a 4 on the D4. And performance. Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's not bad.
17.
17. Not bad. Not quite as fabulous as you'd hoped, but not terrible. I mean, you start off in your... you narrate to me how you go across.
You know, it start off, going, I'm a performer, and hop up on one of the handholds rather than the central rope, and start going across there until the lava flares up underneath me and get a slight scare and with, a bristled tail, which, means nothing to no one. I just decide to hop down the central rope and make my way carefully the rest of the way across.
Yeah. You make it safely across, you don't take any damage, but you got a little bit of a scare there. It was going to go horribly wrong, and you saved it. You pulled it off. So, Ferenz and or Celeste, who's next?
Right,
Please,
off
friends,
you go.
after you.
No, off you go, Miss Celeste. I will come last. Go on.
Come on, stop arguing. Just come
Oh,
on.
arguing.
Basically, nudge her forward.
That
Push
right?
her in the fire. Push her in the fire.
Okay. So the rope bridge starts being singed underneath from the lava. So
Come on, friends. Celeste can fly over. Just get over here.
okay, you going quick, slow, or medium?
I'll go medium.
Oh, you're going, are you? Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I thought
Yeah,
I pushed forward.
that's
so-
what he wants.
Okay. So make your roll then, Celeste.
And then guidance myself as well.
Obviously.
Oh,
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What did you roll on your D4?
He's not about to lose a character to lava.
Oh,
Again.
Okay. So, after this sort of little argument with Ferenz, and the bridge is starting to literally fall to pieces, you start to walk across. You take 17 points of fire damage, halved to 8. And I'd like you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Dirty 20.
Ooh.
So, as the bridge starts to disintegrate, your foot just goes just on a lava spout that happens. You start to run across as the bridge literally is falling apart underneath your feet. And
As she hits-
you make it to the other side. Ferenz, you watch as the bridge starts to fall into the lava.
Yeah, he's just going to start sprinting because he trusts in the crystal dragon to guide him.
Okay.
And so if the centre of it's starting to dip,
Yeah,
he can probably still jump across the middle
You can
using
certainly
the guide
try.
ropes.
You can certainly try. So make athletics, acrobatics check, your choice.
It's going to be athletics because actually no, acrobatics is better, so we'll do that.
So you don't have guidance unless you're guidancing yourself.
Yeah, I'll guide myself because he'll be muttering a constant prayer to the crystal one.
Okay.
Got the thing from Trellador
Yeah.
as well.
And your D3.
Okay, yeah, that's a 16 on the dice. That's a 4 on my D4, and there's an extra 2 from the D3, so 22.
22. Okay.
No, sorry, 24 because with my acrobatics bonus as well.
24. So you start to run, and as you get to the centre of the beach, you can see it dipping into the lava, and both sides start to catch fire. You throw yourself across the gap, and using the guide ropes on the top, just sort of grab and pull. And as you sort of almost bump into Celeste as you exit the bridge, but you make it across safely and watch as the rest of the rope just catches fire, disintegrating.
oh, see, you two arguing back there could have killed you.
Yep.
You should have just come across in an orderly fashion. You'd have been fine.
And
Right.
Fred, I would say that Celeste has got magic that allows her to fly, so you should have just
Turn
come across.
herself into animals. You should have gone first.
I didn't know she could turn herself into an animal. Nobody told me that.
She
And
said that.
so what? I decided no. She said she got a way of getting across. She didn't see how she was going to get across, and I'm the heaviest, so me coming last was logical.
I think that's fair.
I'm not arguing with that. You just could have done it without arguing, then you wouldn't have had either of you had any trouble.
But I said from the start that I was going last because I'm the heaviest.
It's
I mean,
If people had just listened to what I said and gone across, there wouldn't have been a problem.
this is just on par for us. Just this is introducing you to what we're like.
damaged. This
This
I think
Delamar's just sort of looking at all of you, absolutely sort of like, what the fuck are these people doing? Standing in the middle of a cavern with lava river, arguing. She's like,
right, Mr. Yorick, come on, lead the way, please, because we've got a war to stop.
and we'll have a
Yorick,
little break
before-
just there. So go grab yourself a drink, have something to eat, do a big poo, whatever you want to do, man. We'll be back in a short while. We'll go to break.
Cool.
welcome back. So, having successfully-ish traversed the bridge, you find yourselves on the other side in this, quite frankly, enormous cavern. Those of you with dark vision can see it goes up and up and up for hundreds, maybe thousands of feet. It opens up into a massive sort of plaza almost. It's just flattened, worked stone. And in the distance there is a wall with shapes on it. Now, Yorick and Gus, you would recognise this wall as the perimeter of the city proper. You're not sure what the shapes are on it, though. So that's a bit odd. They're sort of large shapes. Either of you can make a perception check if you want, or anybody else can. If you can see a couple of 100 feet in the darkness.
Definitely have a bash at that. Oh, wonderful. 10.
Oh, I did even better. 9.
Yeah, you're not sure. They certainly weren't there last time you saw this part of the city.
I'd just be making sure that my foot was okay.
It's sore. It got burnt. But, could have been a lot worse.
Yorick, Gus,
Yeah.
this is your home, my home.
Yeah, well, we're almost in it. It's like that's the outside wall up there.
Just you'll explain me, yes?
Yeah, you'll just be one of our friends that we found on our journey.
Because I've just left one home and now I'm going to another home. Neither of them seem to be home.
Well, I don't know how welcome we'll be here because of what's going on.
Oh, that's fine. I can deal with that. I'm used to not being welcome.
Saying that, I'll turn to Bridges and say, "Look, lovely,
Yes, Mum.
that was really good fun, and it was very exciting and a little bit scary.
Well, yeah.
You know what I think would be really cool? When you're a little bit bigger, maybe we could go flying together in the mountains. Wouldn't that be cool?"
Yeah, that would be really cool, because there wouldn't be any lava we could accidentally fall. Not that we were going to fall in, because we were just like poetry in the skies. Well, cavern thing. It's probably because it's underground. You see, I'm not quite
Probably, yeah. I think you're right there. But later, maybe in a little while, when you're a little bit bigger, then maybe we could do something like that. That would be really cool.
You can roll a perception check
You're-
on Bridges, please, when you get a second. Carry on speaking.
Hold on, can't do two things at once.
Oh, right, sorry. Apologies.
Perception is wisdom, isn't it? So it's +2.
Okay.
17.
17. Wow. Okay. So carry on. Finish your conversation. Sorry.
Right. We're about to go into the Dwarven main city thing, and you being there might be a bit scary for them, and they might think you're a baddie and hurt you. So I think you should pop off for a little while, and I'll call you back when we get into...
I am. Now you mentioned it, I'm a little peckish, so I could just pop out, get a little snack, and then come back, eh? When you
If you like. No problem. All right. Bye.
Bridges is off to make teeth again.
She's loving it. So, what do you want to do?
Let's head towards the
Let's get moving on up.
You head towards the city, crossing this wide open space. Now, this was designed specifically to be wide and open, so the dwarves can see enemies coming from a long way away. Because enemies tend to be large and normally on fire at this point. As you get closer to where you know there should be a gate, you can see on large spikes that are sticking out of the wall dragon heads.
Oh dear.
There are, as you get closer, within about sort of 60 feet or so, you can see there are some sapphires There's some rubies. There's even a couple of emeralds and a topaz as well. And these look big. They're not small dragons, these ones. These are big dragons. Bigger than any you've seen so far.
I know we've got to try and stop this war, Yorick, but it looks as though it might be a bit difficult. Because, you can see this, can't you?
What are they mounted on?
Large metal spikes that jut out from the wall itself. It looks like they've been bracketed on.
How old are the heads?
Sorry?
How old are the heads?
You can only see shapes from 60 feet away, unless you're going to go up close and have a quick medicine check. Up to you.
No, I didn't realise that because they were that big. I just thought we could see them.
Yeah, Bryn's lengthens his stride, and you can just see the starts of absolute white fire just creep up his arm and up the length of his staff as he just walked forward.
So as you do so, a voice in Dwarvish rings out. Yorick, Gus, Sprocket, you will hear a voice. You stop right there! Don't come any closer, or we'll fire.
It's all right.
Nope.
We just
What's that light? Tell them to put that light out.
Put what out? Don't worry, we're friends.
That says maybe, but you coming in
Yeah.
with white fiery light.
He's just a bit weird. Don't worry about him. He's just a big
Well, tell him
person.
to stop it, or I'll fire.
Friends, stop it, please.
Friends, do you stop?
He just literally stops stock still, turns, and just looks straight at Yorick and Gus. And the kindly look on his face is gone. You can see that he's very, very angry.
We've got to be diplomatic here if we're going to fix this. You can't go around pissing people off, all right? Because they're in the mood to shoot first and ask questions later. And they may never have seen anyone who's not a dwarf. So you've got to give them a bit of credit here.
Credit for what?
For not shooting you already.
Well, with you, it makes sense that they haven't shot us yet.
Well,
we're not dragons. Unless all of your people are barbarians.
Well, that's a bit rude.
Look, there's been a lot of death on both sides. We've walked past a lot of dead dwarves. You've walked past a lot of dead dragons. We're all very upset. This is all very emotional time. But we've got to sort of play the game a little bit here. Come on. We're doing this for good reasons. We're trying to sort this shit out.
Need you to share, friend. You're going to be part of it.
I'll trust you to get us in. Or if they try anything, or if they do anything that threatens the peace that we're trying to build, I won't hold back. I'm a nice person and I like to heal people, but this can't go on.
And if that happens and you don't hold back, you're the one who's going to be dead. And then you can't help anyone, can you?
The Great One warned me that there was a war. I didn't expect it to be this bad. Mounting dragon heads on the front of a keep or a wall.
War, isn't it? It's horrible. That's why we're trying to stop it. So you let your personal emotions get in the way.
Yeah, but you've already said yourself that, the priests in there are keeping baby dragons and harvesting them, and now they're mounting the adults on the front of the place. You tell me what's right, Gus. You love your bridge risk. Would you let them mount her head on there?
You're being really stupid at the moment. You've got a clod of mud in your ears. There's nothing right about any of this. We're not going to fix it by being shot before we get inside, are we?
Go and get us bloody inside then, so we can start fixing things.
Or turn your fire off, you numpty.
It just dissipates.
Right, the light's gone.
Right
Can
now.
we-
Is that? I know that voice. You're a scale bean, aren't you?
Yarp,
Two of them here.
Gus? Yorick?
yarp, yarp.
Yeah.
You're dead.
No,
We're right here.
dead are we?
It's ghosts. Must be ghosts.
It's not
You can
ghosts,
hear
you
muttering.
crap.
Right, come a little closer. We want to
Down
make...
here and I'll punch you in the face to show you I'm not a ghost.
That's got to be Gus. Nobody else would do that.
Yeah.
Not when we've got crossbows.
He'll punch you in the face and then give you a beer. How about that?
That's definitely Yorick. I'm telling
See-
you. Well, it might not be. They might be like imposters. We've had that before, haven't we? So you can hear this conversation between two of them going on. So one of them, right? So approach. Give me either of you can give me what would it be? Insight check.
Yeah.
That would be Yorick then.
I can do that. Yeah, that ain't bad. 23.
23. Yeah. This is Declan and Enrin. Two of the not squad members, but in one of the other sort of hunting parties that you used to go when you were off duty with. You'd have a beer with them and swap stories and that. So you recognise the voices now.
Was it Declan and who?
And Enrin.
Henry.
I presume this is all happening in Dwarvish.
Yeah, it's all happening in Dwarvish.
I wouldn't know that because Yorick was the one who did that, wasn't it? I'll shut up now.
Hey, Gus. Declan?
Yeah?
Henry.
What? Oh, they know our names. They must be ghosts. Enrin, don't be a dafty. No, it's
I'm
not
just going to
ghosts.
start walking slowly, all disarmed and stuff, just sort of hands out. Guys,
It's Yorick. I told you it was. No, it must be ghosts. Enrin, stop being a dick.
You never were the brightest, were you, Enrin?
Oh, he knows my name. He's the ghost knows my name. Enrin, if you don't shut up, I'm going to throw you off this wall. As you get closer and closer, you can see two figures at the top of this wall. This wall's about 50 feet high. And looking over the top, you can see these two bearded faces looking over that you two recognise as Declan and Enrin. They start looking at you. Fucking hell. It is them.
Told you.
And Declan says, so, hang on a minute. So you weren't, like, killed in
Nope.
that rock slide?
Nope. You have been lied to.
who
Well-
told you that?
Well, obviously we've been lied to because you're still alive.
That's right.
What I'm saying is, we was told you were dead. You were died
told-
in a landslide. Well, Vela did. You know, the priest fella. You know, one of the ones from the caves down the bottom where they all, you know, do their rituals for reorcs and all that.
I'll spit on the floor.
Oh, he's spitting about. You can't spit about priests. I'd be like spitting about Yorick.
Let us in and I'll tell you a story, my friend.
Well, I don't know. We've been told we're not allowed to let anybody in. We're especially not allowed
We're not
non-dwarves.
anybody, are we?
Well, I can see you two and two
Are.
other dwarves that I don't know, and then some very definitely not dwarves. Like there's like a
Oh,
really
it's
tall not dwarf and some pointy-eared not dwarf and a furry not dwarf and some I don't know what they are, but you know,
Now, wasn't it them very same priest said there was no one else but us dwarfs here, wasn't there?
Oh, this is getting
I think
complicated.
all these not dwarves now because there's loads of them all over the place.
Yeah, you're having a laugh. It must.
I'm not.
Edwin pipes up. It's ghosts. That's what it is. It's ghosts.
We've taken a load of your refugees across the lands to the land of the forest of the elves to keep them safe.
Refugees? What are you talking about?
A load of people who escaped from the city went down the tunnel.
Nobody's going down tunnels apart to fight dragons. And, you know, they all come back or they die fighting. They don't escape. They're not refugees.
They've escaped and they're safe. And I'll reel off the list of names, including all the little ones.
See, Declan's face just like drops. Like, but they said they was all dead.
They're not. On my honour, they're all safe.
In like a dragon attack.
Nope.
Even a little. You said they're all alive.
Yep.
I'm very
Some of them.
confused.
We took them into the forest and we got them safe.
Forest? What are you talking about? Forest? What's a
Yeah,
forest?
The big, lots of trees all in the same place.
Well, like 5 or 6 trees.
I mean hundreds and thousands and millions and trillions of them.
Don't be daft. Everybody knows trees only go up to like 5 at a time.
Yeah, we've all been lied to by them
So much you can do.
tristies.
Edwin pipes. You sure it ain't ghosts? I reckon it's ghosts.
Right, come on. Who's in command?
Give me a minute.
Who's in command at the moment? Who are you reporting to? Can we speak to them?
Well, Declan pipes up. Well, technically, right, I'm in charge. Edwin's like, no, you're not. I'm in charge. Well, no, I'm in charge. Because I'm the clever one, remember? You're the one that shoots really far, and I'm the clever one. Ugh. Just ignore Inra. He don't know what he's talking about. I do. I told you it was ghosts. Why else would they not believe I was in charge? I'm sorry. He's been listening to Sybil. Your mum, Gus. He's been listening to your mum again when she tells him scary stories.
She's going to give me a good belting while you go, won't she?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think she'll be able to do that, though.
Why?
Well, she's been locked up.
Who
What?
Well, Vela said, right, that...
Oh, that bugger again.
That because you was dead, and she wouldn't admit that you was dead, and she kept pestering him, that they locked her up.
Right. I'm going to have for him.
You gotta sort this out.
And he says, oh, don't think you should have told him that. Oh.
Right, first thing, guys.
Could a mod just jump in the chat, please? We've got a wannabe famous.
Right,
alleged
open this
chatter.
bloody door now, or I'm going to get Yorick to punch through.
I tell you what, I go get Arion, sorry, Arion, not Arian. That would be weird. Arion.
Who's Arion?
You know, he's one of the commanders of one of the units that would go out. He's fairly high up.
Yeah. That's what I meant when I meant who's in charge. Can we speak to them?
You should have said. I thought you meant like in here. I was in charge of the gate.
I thought you were the clever one.
Well, I am. It's Edwin that's the idiot. Oi! Why you say I was an idiot? That's bloody hell. Bloody ghost come along and just turn your head, innit?
I'll turn around and say very quietly in common to everyone else, now you see we're the clever ones.
I have no idea what's been going on for the past
Don't worry.
10 minutes.
I've completely forgotten that they don't speak Dwarvish.
Don't worry, classic dwarf stuff.
Okay, so about 10 minutes go by.
Before that happens,
Sure.
can I just do something?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
I think Florian would walk up to where Firenze is and be like, I'm sorry, Firenze, and they'll put like a comforting hand. I suppose it wouldn't be on his shoulder if he's that tall, would it? But sort of like,
You have to reach up, I think.
yeah, I'd
I
probably
think-
sort of like grab as like his forearm, I suppose, and be like, I'm sorry, friends, and been in a similar sticky situation as to what's right to do and when to do it, but trusted Ardwars, Yarok and Gus, and Sprocket. We can get through this. I think we can end this so nobody has to see any more of their dead kin. And I'll just kind of leave it like that, just to give him hopefully a few comforting words.
You just sort of look down at Florian and just give him a sort of small smile. And then
There
just
you
go
go.
back to focusing on the facets of the crystal in his
Okay.
that's Topsy's staff.
Okay. So, unless anybody else wants to do anything?
What's our good friend Delama getting up to at the moment?
Delaware, make a perception check.
Do you want me to do that at disadvantage because she's dark?
Yes, because it's dark, so you don't have dark vision. So.
I've been making the joke of sitting here like this for half the time. Perception. It's not bad. 19.
19.
14 and 17 on dice.
You don't see Delama.
Celeste, can you see
Mhm.
Delamere? I can't see her anymore.
I will have a look around.
Okay, make a perception check.
$17.
17. Can't see her anywhere.
I don't know where she is either.
Delamere, where are you? Are you all right? You haven't fallen in the lava, have you?
She reappears at your shoulder, Gus. I'm right here. Sorry,
Oh, right.
I was a
Sorry.
bit. I got a bit panicky, so I just hid a bit.
That's all right.
So
Don't worry.
sorry about that.
Don't worry. They're all.
They're a
We're
bit.
gonna.
They're a bit. How can I put this? Dim.
They're not the brightest sparks in the barrel. That's true.
Why does he keep talking about ghosts?
Because he thinks we're dead. You know, I mentioned before about what we're trying to do here.
You're
We're trying
not
to...
dead, are you?
No, I'm not dead.
Just checking.
No, I'm not. No's Yorick, he's alive as well.
Oh, I
You
guess
know-
that.
You know what I said before about trying to save the baby dragons and stop the bad priesties?
Yup.
Well, it's them same bad priesties gone round, told everyone that we're dead, and put my mum in prison.
You put your mum in prison.
Yeah, because she wouldn't believe them and was causing a stink. She's a good mum.
That's ridiculous.
So we're going to go in there. We're going to persuade the dwarves that this is a bad idea and that the priesties are bad and they've been lying to everyone all their lives. Get rid of all the priesties, save the baby dragons, free my mum. I need to have that put on my t-shirt here saying "Free Mum," and then we're going to stop the war somehow because we need to save the
And then
dragons.
get to the pub and wait for all this to blow over.
I literally was thinking the same thing, Martin. I really was.
Grab mum. Yeah. So she's like, that's a lot of things to do.
I know,
Right.
and I
Okay.
do feel
All right.
nervous at times having so much responsibility, but we've got to do it, haven't we?
Well, with the beard, the conspiracy beard, comes great responsibility.
That's true. That's very true.
So, whilst you're having this conversation, Yorick and a third figure joins the two bickering dwarves at the top of the wall. This is Arion. You recognise him from many squads you've been out on, especially healing, because you were rotated around all the different squads that went out. Yorick,
Carry on.
why are you here?
We just come up the tunnel. Wanted to come in and speak to some folks.
But you're dead.
Quite clearly not.
Well, I see. So, what? Just looked at the chat. Justice for mum. No. That's good. Well done. Well done. So, right. So you've got some others with you.
Yeah,
So I count 4 dwarves.
yeah.
The others.
4 non-dwarves.
The others. What? Oh, you'd like to see a tabaxi?
Oh,
Tabaxi,
yeah.
human, elf. Not sure what. Friends, what are you?
I'm not something that anybody would know, but my people call ourselves we're furbolgs.
Oh, yep. Nope, never heard of that. Furbolg.
Furball.
We've been out exploring the world and we met
Elves.
all sorts of lovely
Humans.
people.
These are mythical races, Yorick. You know that. Why?
Well, they're not, obviously, because they're right here.
They're as mythical as we are dead.
Yep.
I see. Well, I hate to say it, but I think we're going to have to let you in. But when we do that, you're probably going to be arrested.
Right?
What for? Not being dead?
I think so, yeah.
Right. Well, let us have a little chat with you first to tell you what's been going on.
Right, okay.
Then you can make a decision what you want to do.
Right.
Hey, are there any other scalebeans in the city at the moment?
Well, your mum and dad, Yorick, have gone out on patrol.
Okay.
They went out, it was a while back now. They should have been back by now. They're about a day overdue. But, you know, patrols go long sometimes.
Okay.
Nothing to worry about, I'm sure. Who else is in? Well, Sybil, obviously, she got herself arrested. That was quite funny, actually.
Yeah, well, we can have a bit of a reckoning about that one.
Yeah, I don't think fella's going to let her out. She did punch him quite hard.
Good
Yeah.
for
Yeah. It took 4 of them to, like, hold her down to put the manacles on. She wasn't happy.
that's my mum.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know where they're keeping her. They wouldn't tell me because obviously I've got connections to the Scalebanes myself. So,
Yeah, well, I'll find her and I'll sort that bugger out.
yeah, I'm not sure where your dad went. He just vanished one day. I don't know where he is. So
I bet he's been locked up somewhere as well.
I really don't know. It's very
Oh.
weird. Scalebanes have been disappearing, and there was a. Well, I think I better let the priests talk to you about the other stuff that the Scalebanes have been.
I think you better let us in and then let us have a chat with you because you've been lied to like the rest of us.
Well,
Or you can come down here and we talk outside the wall.
I think better that I come out rather
All right.
than let you in because you've got a lot of people that don't. Well, I can't let into the city. You know the rules. Dwarves. Only dwarves?
If only dwarves existed,
Dwarves.
there wouldn't be the need for a rule to say only dwarves.
Yeah, but anything
Go on.
else is a dragon, isn't it?
But
You
these
know-
aren't dragons.
You know that. Well, they might be. Dragons can shapeshift, you know. You know
Right.
you know the rules.
We've been living with these people for the last. How long have we been away for?
I don't know, it's months.
Something I don't know.
Well,
And none of them are dragons, I'll tell you that much.
right. Okay. You can vouch for all of these people, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I shouldn't do it, but Edwin, open that gate. What? You're not going to let the ghosts in, are you? Edwin, open the bloody gate. Stop talking. You see, you can soundlessly this huge gate. It's about sort of 15 foot tall, about 8 foot wide. Just sort of soundlessly swings inward.
Gus, was he coming out or were we going in?
I don't know.
We'll wait here a minute.
And Arian says, right, I'm going to come out. I'll be right there.
All right.
Disappears off the top of the wall.
When he Gus,
A couple of minutes
don't-
later.
Gus, don't worry about your dad. I'll send him a message.
All
I'll
right.
find out where he is.
I'm sure that bloody priestie's got him locked him away somewhere.
Probably.
I'm going to do it for him, I tell you.
Arion comes out. Right, so, Declan, you stand there, you don't let nobody in till I say so. Declan's up. In the open
Right.
doorway.
Let's sit down and have a powwow then, shall we?
We better add.
Gus, Yorick,
Europe?
there any chance this conversation could be had not in Dwarvish?
Oh,
I was
Or
gonna
It doesn't
ask
really need
what
to be in Dwarvish.
what's going on.
talk Dwarvish.
Good point. Right, Arion. I'm going to switch to common. You speak enough common to get by, don't you?
Well, yeah, but I haven't used it for a while. But yeah, I used to talk to the Tabaxi occasionally. Yeah, he's quite stilted, and he's not quite sure. He slows down to try and think of the words ahead of time.
I'll just say to him in Dwarvish, if you can't think of a word in common, just say it in Dwarvish and I'll translate for you.
Right. I mean, right. Yeah. So just assume he's playing in common from now on.
Yeah. So, everyone can now speak the same language. We're all speaking together.
Right.
I would like to introduce you to my friends, and I will point at each of them and introduce their names.
Arian.
Nice to meet you, Arian.
So,
It's a pleasure.
yeah, you're all quite tall. Well, Miss, and she nods at Miette. I've dealt with the Tabaxi before. I've always found them to be honourable and straightforward in their dealings. So it's a honour to have you this far into Daghold, I suppose. I bet
It
you're...
is a first for any of my people, and I thank you for your welcome, Arian.
yeah, I bet you're missing the water, aren't you? There's not a lot of rivers down here.
Missing it terribly.
I thought so. So then, tell me this tale of yours then, Yorick.
I'm going to purposefully just sit down to make this, try and get everyone else to sit down to try and make this a comfortable scenario.
Okay.
How long have we been away, Gus and I?
It's a good, I would suggest, well, you see, there has been some slight time shenanigans.
Yeah, good.
So
Can't
you could
imagine,
ask how long you've been away. As far as you're concerned, with the natural passage of time, you think you've been missing from Daghold for about 3 months, you'd say?
Aaron, how long is it since you were told we'd gone missing or that we died?
Well, they said to us like that you'd gone out because you were supposed to be rostered on with me when we was going out, and you didn't turn up. And I was like, well, where is he? And fella says, oh, he was trying to help with a rescue of a cave in, and him and Gus on their off time was you died, and this would have been how was it, a good sort of 6-7 months ago at least, maybe even 8 actually. 8 months, yeah, something like that. 8 months, I reckon.
I mean, time does fly. Anyway, so
Time is a weird soup, so I've heard tell.
time is a weird soup. So at that time, the reason I didn't show up for that watch was because Gus had found something. Gus, tell him what you found that caused us to leave.
Right. I'm going to tell you a story now that'll sound most peculiar, but it's all true.
Right.
Right.
Does he have to be dramaful, Yorick?
Of course he does.
Oh, okay. Go on, then. Let's have it. We should have beer for this, really.
So I was out on patrol one day, and there was a big battle going on. And
Yeah,
this,
that happens.
yeah, well, this big dragon was dying, and it spoke to me,
What?
and it said, protect my baby. And where it was, there was a nest, and there was a dragon egg inside it.
Oh, you get bounty for them.
Aye, so that's what I did. I thought I'll bring it back to Daggold, and I'll take it to the Velen, and get my bounty. But I couldn't find him, so I went down underneath the citadel. Where they
Oh,
do
you're
that.
not supposed to be down there. We're not allowed down there unless you're a priest.
Well, I know, but I was excited and stuff,
Oh,
and I
Gus.
saw what they really did down there, and it was horrible.
What? Priesty stuff? It's just
They
like boring, isn't it?
They were breeding baby dragons
What?
and then stealing their gems and killing them dead.
No, that's not right. That's not what
That
we
is right.
do.
I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Oh, Gus,
And
you
I
must
thought-
have been ridiculous. You can't see that. That's not what happens.
I'm telling you right now, it is. I
Yeah.
saw that and I thought, I'm not going to let this baby dragon get dealt with like that. So I went and got my cousin Yorick, and we left. We went down the mountains and into the cities. With the big cities down there, full of people, the humans and elves and tabaxi and all sorts of different peoples. And they've got their own beer. It's not as nice as ours, but they have. And they've got their own. There's big lakes and boats and there's millions of things, and massive forests and all sorts of things. And we've been all over the world exploring and adventuring and helping people. And we saved this village from a big monster and all sorts of stuff. But
Wow.
in that time, Yorick, well, no, let me go back a bit, right? So I had this dragon egg in the back of my backpack,
Right.
and it went hatched, and it burnt the back off my trousers, and I was butt naked.
That was fun.
But then I had a baby dragon called Bridris.
Wait, so let me get it straight. You stole an egg, ran
Yeah.
off with it.
Well, I didn't steal it. Its mother asked me to look after
Well,
it, so I did.
technically, you're supposed to give it into the priest.
Yeah, I'm
so,
going to give it to those murdering bastards.
so technically, you've stolen it.
Okay.
Which I'm just trying to say that from their point of view, they're probably not going to be happy about that.
They're going to be less happy when I put my fist in their face.
Yeah,
What?
I know, but then you went off in all these cities and boats and lakes and things,
Yeah.
and now you've come back.
Yeah. We've come back because, well, I'll let Yorick tell you that bit because he's the one who's had the conversations with gods.
So
Gods, there's only one god. Everybody knows
Oh,
there's
yeah,
only one
well.
god.
I was being dramatic.
Right,
he likes to put some flair in his stories.
I see. Right, you know,
So,
I've heard
all
of it, yeah.
I have been communicating very closely with Riox himself, having daily conversations with him. Yeah.
I mean, oh, this is a classic scale being wind up, isn't it? So, let me get it straight. You've got a pet dragon, and you talk to God, and the priests are murdering the baby dragon. You two are having
Do you
an
want me to prove it
absolute
to you?
laugh.
Do you want me to prove it to you?
I mean, what are you going to do? Poof a dragon out of nowhere?
Yes.
Gas, gas. Make sure all the dwarves have their weapons down before you.
I was going to say that, but dumbo over there to put his bloody crossbow down before you start? Because he's, you know how nervous he is.
Well, Declan's all right. It's just, you know. Oh yeah, Edward's up there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Mr. Gus,
Yeah.
when you get her to come in behind me, so if they fire, it'll hit me first.
Oh, she'll be all right. Don't worry.
I don't want anything to hurt her.
No, they're not going to fire at him because I've told them it's safe, right? Isn't that right?
Well,
I trust you, Mr.
I'll tell
Gus.
you what. If you can summon a dragon here, if you can, boys, he's gonna summon a dragon. Don't shoot it, whatever you do.
If you shoot her, I'm going to come up there and kick you in the nuts.
Just
Still reckon
and
you're a ghost?
one more interjection, Gus. Maybe Yara could speak to to Riox and maybe do a
We can do
prove it
both
that
things.
way.
And I'll just summon Bridris to appear behind me.
Okay. Bridris appears behind you. It's unfortunate. I rolled a natural one. Bridris has a horned humanoid head sticking out of her mouth, which is like, "Oh, Mum, I wasn't doing anything, honest."
What have you been doing? What did I tell you about that?
It was, I was hungry.
We'll talk about that later, young lady. First of all, I want you to say hello to these dwarves over here. And I'll turn round to Aaron and I'll say, "This is Bridris. This is my baby." And I'll go and put my arm around her.
Arian looks absolutely petrified.
Nothing to be scared about. She's not going to hurt you.
And you can
She's
see
a good girl.
Declan in the doorway with his crossbow, which was already up and pointed at you guys. It was just like,
Young man, I suggest you put that down.
And I'll say,
bloody dragon!
I move in front of where
No,
Declan
no,
is,
Bridris.
where Beatrice is.
"Bridris, you can go away, go back now, but no more eating those things with the horns."
He just reaches back, picks it back up, goes, "Okay."
Right. Do you believe me now, then?
That was a...
That was a dragon.
What?
An onyx one. Very rare, isn't it?
Hang on a minute. I was on that mission when we killed that black one. That onyx. I was in charge. They're gonna execute me.
No. No, they won't.
I was in charge, and Gus stole an egg. Oh God. How about, right, if you just go away and we'll say no more about it.
Oh, no, we got to finish the story first. Over to you, Yarrick.
Not sure I like this story anymore.
Well, maybe not, but there is more to tell.
Right.
So, as I was saying, I've been speaking very closely with Reorx. More so than any of those priests down there are. I don't think they've spoken to him in years. I don't think they've even tried to talk to him. They're just doing their own thing and taking the power because people believe they're talking with him.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
What Reorx has been saying to me is that we need to end this war. The dwarves versus dragons. Got to end.
Right.
And that's why we're here.
So, right, okay. So, sorry, there was a dragon.
There was a dragon. A good one. See, we can be friends with them.
She protects us. When something attacks us, she comes down and she protects us.
Right.
Dwarves and dragons can be best friends.
What was she eating? Was that like a ghost or a demon or something?
Yes,
Some sort of demon, yeah.
something like that.
Okay. Right.
Very brave.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, I suppose you better come in then, eh? Declan, we're coming in. Stand down.
The problem I've got a little bit, well, not me personally, but us as a group, is that what we're saying, the truth that we are trying to get people to see, is in direct confliction with what the priests down there want us to believe.
I have noticed that, yeah.
And the
Yeah.
shit they've been giving us for the last 2, 3, 4, 500 years about there being no one but dwarves and we've got to kill all the dragons. It's all bollocks.
Right.
And they're in charge here, and if we go in saying that none of that's true,
Yeah, they might get a bit upset. Well,
They
they
might
will get a bit upset. I think probably we need to kind of hide you so you haven't come back. So we can get you. Where can we put?
so
I know.
is any of our family around that we can...
Well, no, like I said, your mum and dad are out on patrol. Sybil's in jail. We don't know where Gus's dad is. Nobody's seen him. And there aren't any other Scalebanes now I think on it. Here
It's
at all.
suspicious, isn't it?
It is, really.
Make you think maybe the priests have started to get rid of them because they were asking too many questions.
I mean, you have always been quite gobby.
That's true. Can't argue with that.
I mean, even the
If
quiet
I'm-
ones are gobby.
If I may, you have been given lots of proof in front of your eyes here that you have been lied to by these so-called priests. Firstly, that Gus and Yorick are dead. Well, I mean, you can quite clearly see that they are very much
Not
alive.
if they're ghosts, we can't.
and
Shut up,
that
Edred.
Other races do exist outside of these mountains.
Well, I will concede that you are definitely not dwarves, which is interesting. I see Tabaxi aside, because obviously I've seen those before with my own eyes. But it's, you have to forgive me. It's a little bit of a shock.
I know.
I know.
She was our faces first time we went to a pub in the human lands. It was so weird, but exciting as well. And you're written it all down.
You know the best bit about going into pubs in
Drinking?
like human territory? Their pints are like fucking this. It's amazing.
Awesome. But you said their beer was shit.
Some
Well,
of it.
we need to steal some of their pint glasses, don't we?
Oh,
That's a good
have you
point.
still got some of that mead we found? That was really nice.
Yeah, try a bit of this.
It tastes. Oh, that's good. Where'd you get that?
That was from one of the pubs.
Yeah.
Made by orcs, I think. Orcs are big green things. They're quite pretty too.
What? Oh, right.
So we've discovered that Gus here is pansexual, but leaving that aside.
Right, okay. No, that's. Well, I always did wonder about Gus, to be
Yeah.
honest. It's the beard, you see.
I mean,
Is-
I myself have had a, albeit very brief, conversation with real.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you had a brief affair with bloody Gus.
Oh no.
From
no.
the way that, like Yorick was saying, I thought everybody had a bit with Gus.
No,
Beard sexual, yeah.
While he is a very pleasant chap, he's not quite my type, and I don't think I'm his either.
Well, by the sounds of it, anybody Gus's type.
Anyone breathing Gus's time?
I'll give Yorick a kick.
Right, so getting back to the matter at hand, because we will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So
We need to somehow get.
I think we get you in, right, we find a place for you to stay, like, out of sight, like hidden, so that the priests don't find you straight away and just like murderize you. Declan will be alright, but Enrin, God, you know what he's like. He just talks and talks and talks. You can't shut him up. And that's coming. He talks more than you, Gus.
Well, that's something, isn't
It
it?
is something. So right, okay. So I reckon I can get you. Do you remember my aunt Jean?
Yeah.
She passed on a while back, just after you left, actually. But her place is empty, and we ain't got nobody to move in there yet. And it's right on the edge, so nobody goes there.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So I think we'll get you there, right? And then which I will talk to Declan and Enrin and get them to, not tell to anyone about this. And then I can do some asking about, see if there's anybody else that's kind of, sympathetic to, like, because there's got to be some Scalebane supporters somewhere.
Of course they are. We're the greatest.
Well, I wouldn't say greatest, but you're quite good. But,
Everyone knows we're the best.
Listen, right? Clawfoot, which is my clan, Clawfoot, we're just as good as you Scalebanes. Don't you comment just because you've got royal blood or whatever you claim. So no rubbish anyway. Anyway, that I think's a plan. What do you think?
I think that's a good plan. I think we need to get down under that citadel and where the priests are and expose them for what they really are, and then kill them all dead, the murdering bastards.
Kill them all dead, murdering bastards. Right? I'm absolutely for murderizing, killing bastards. Yes.
And then before we do that, though, we got to get my mum out of prison because she'll want to do that as well. She'll never forgive me if I murderize them before she does.
That is very true. I won't cross your mum. I don't think anybody will cross your mum.
Find there's quite a lot of other Scalebanes probably locked up somewhere by them priesties as well.
Well, I ask about, because obviously somebody's got to have guard duty.
Yeah.
So let me do some asking. Right. So we've got to try and get you lot. And he sort of looks at all of you. Somehow to my Auntie Jean's.
Well, we're quite good at sneaking.
Being seen.
Well, the friend just stands up and says, "Well, I can do something about that," and he just literally just clicks his staff once and disappears.
Ooh.
And then would use my hidden step.
That was clever.
So I can magically turn invisible, and this lasts until the start of. It says until the start of your next turn, or until you attack, make a damage roll, or force someone to make a saving throw.
Okay.
Bit of magic there, you see.
Right.
Different kinds of magic to.
Where did he? Has he gone to the same place the dragon went?
No, he's still here.
What he's done?
Friend
He's
walks
still here. You
in
just can't see him.
and literally just sort of taps him on the top of the head.
Yay! So as you tap him, you become visible again. He's like, whoa! Okay, that's clever. Right, so we'll get you.
Make it harder for us to be seen as well.
Right, good, yes, like that.
Hey, Celeste, can you just like turn us all into like mice or something, so we can kind of.
I don't want mites in my beard.
They're quite good for catching bits of cheese to drop.
I can only change myself and one other person.
Well, there's 4 of us dwarves already. We could maybe like disguise ourselves a little bit. Put our hoods up.
What about the tall folk though?
Well, how long is it going to take to get to
Auntie Jean's? Well, it depends on which way we go, I suppose, because we could go
the way which we're least likely to be seen, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just trying to work out a path where there's least people. I reckon I could do that. Takes about half an hour, I suppose.
I can shadow us for about an hour.
Oh right, you're going to turn everyone invisible for an hour. That's brilliant.
No, but I can make it a little harder for us to be seen.
Right, okay. Well, there will be sort of like passageways and things where we won't be seen sort of any sort of gestures. As you look up at the city, it is huge towers with windows in and sort of covered walkways between these towers, and there are. It's really quite beautiful. There's this strata in the rock that has been worked so that it's in patterns which flow across the buildings to make them. At first, you don't see them; it just looks like rock, and then as you stare at them longer, they resolve into buildings that you hadn't seen before. It's just the natural shapes of the rock have been used to make these buildings. So yeah, we can get you there about half an hour, I reckon, without probably there's a good chance we wouldn't be spotted. So anybody that could turn invisible for like that long, that'd be great. Everybody else will have to be, I don't know,
Sneaky.
yeah, disguised or something.
Well,
We can put our cloaks on. The tall ones can like walk hunched over, so they're not so tall.
Mr.
Right.
Yorick,
Yeah.
I know you have the same issue that I do with armor, so I think I can help you a little bit. And I will. So when we move out, I can enhance your ability to sneak.
That's a really good idea, but I'm less worried about me being seen because I'm a dwarf and people will be expecting that.
I suppose.
So can you do that on someone else?
I
If
can-
someone sees me from a distance, they're not going to go, "Oh my god, you're it."
Especially as they think we're dead.
I mean, I could probably do it on up to 4 people.
Right, so shall we get going then? If you've got your sneakiness all sorted out, what we'll
Right,
do is I've got to leave.
Over.
I've got to leave these two Herberts here because they're on gate duty because they're idiots.
Just
So
tell them to shut up.
I will do that.
Yarek, may I just have a word over here, please?
Sure.
And I'll go like away from the group and quietly say, I can't get a read on any of these new people. Obviously, just met them, but can we trust that they're not going to lead us into a trap or not to the odds or anything? We are walking into this quite willingly just because it's what we need.
It's a fair point. Yeah. I like to think that we've shown him enough proof that we're not pulling his leg here.
Me too.
Maybe you're right.
Not to say that we shouldn't use this opportunity to go in because it means we're in, but not to be walking around thinking everything is fine when obviously it may not be or isn't.
Let me just have a word.
Okay.
And I'll go back to what was his name? Oh my word.
Arian.
Arion.
Arion. I was thinking Ari. He's a bit of Ari, isn't he?
You call him Ari if you like, for sure.
So you're going to help us get to your Auntie Jill's.
Auntie Jean's, yeah.
Jean.
Yeah. Sorry, I haven't. I think I've got a great aunt Jill somewhere. I've seen her for a long time, but
Sorry,
it's been a very interesting 20 minutes or so. I've learned a lot.
Yeah. So you're going to help us sneak into there without us being seen and let us hold up there for a bit. And you're going to help us to try and find anyone that might.
I'm going to go find out for you who's on guard duty of Sybil and see if there's any other scale beings what's locked up. And I'm going to sort of like sound out a couple of people that I know probably, some of the lads and lasses from the patrols, like.
You be careful with that, though.
Yeah, not the priests, obviously, just the dragon hunters.
Yeah.
As he's saying all that, I'm going to be watching him very closely.
Make an insight
For
check.
signs of deception.
Okay, make an insight check.
Oh, this is like this has gone extra level. The fact that Philly has pulled me aside to tell me to do an insight check.
Florian has. I haven't. Florian has.
Insight by proxy.
It's Inception like, isn't it?
Really starting to outsource his insight.
Yeah.
Okay. So it rolled. It went the other way to normally. It rolled off a 4 to an 18, so I got 22.
22. Okay. You know Harry quite well. You've known him for a long time. You've fought with him, you've healed other people with him. He's a genuinely honest person. If he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. And you do not detect any deception in what his plan is. He's one of those practical dwarves that you show them something is true, that's it, they're in, they buy in. Yep. Shown him something that's true, that a dragon appeared, didn't eat any of your party, was already eating somebody, but you managed to convince him that was a demon, and then at Gus's command went away again. So that's a big thing for a dwarf to see. So yeah, he's totally on board.
Sorry, I want to insight check the DM there on saying that Yorick heals.
Roll an insight check.
You still have done once or twice.
Maybe.
14.
Yorick has absolutely used to heal until you came along and didn't need to.
That was the plan.
You insight checked, so there you go. Moving on from this weird insight arama thing we've got going on.
Right.
Yeah, you get the feeling that he is straight up absolutely on your side. I mean, the Claws have generally been allied to the Scalebanes for a long time.
Gentle ribbon, but we're all good.
Yeah.
I'll put a firm hand on his shoulder and be like, "You're a good man."
He puts one on your shoulder. Well, you're always a good one, Yorick. You've, out in the field, you're a good man to have around. So,
Bloody hell, give him a kiss and let's move on.
Shut up, Gus, or I'll make you stand guard duty with fucking Enrin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or not. He already thinks you're a ghost, so that'll freak him out more.
That'd be quite funny, actually.
If only we had the time. So,
and I'm just going to put my hands on my amulet and just say, "You Reorcs, look after this one." And
you get a sort of you get that knowing feel that Reorcs is on the case. So you make your way into the gates, and we'll pick it up there next time.
Oof.
I'll do the spellcast next time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll do
fresh.
all the mechanics of the spell casting and what you're going to do and all that sort of thing. Because I imagine that Pass Without a Trace is going to reappear at some point as well.
Yeah.
So, thank you all very much for playing. That was really good fun.
That was awesome, Charles.
Sorry, it was a bit dwarf heavy, but
yeah, it was a bit of a two-player game tonight.
Yeah, the dwarves are quite heavy, but they're bulky, so you can't hold that against them.
They wear a lot of armour. But yeah, it's one of those things. You're in, or just about to be in the Dwarven City. as the chat has said, the Dwarven Civil War. And the war between the dwarves and the dragons, and the war between the dwarves and agoraphobia. I mean, yeah. So, yes, thank you all very much for playing. That was really good fun. We'll do our usual round room. Anybody want to go first? I think Miette wants to go first.
I'm sorry, I've been sitting on this for half the game already. Please note the conspiracy here is Gus's dad is a dragon.
Wow.
Thank you.
That is a worthy conspiracy.
That
thought
was a proper conspiracy beard, that one.
That would
Debbie,
be awesome, because I'd be half dragon.
Yeah, hence your natural finesse
to
for
speak dragon.
tonic.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And
I thought that as well, Debbie. Yeah,
Wow.
I've completely forgotten that. But I did think that.
half dragon with a cat tail.
I remember my face when Chaz was saying stuff like that. My face just was on stream. I was like, no, could it be? He can speak Draconic. He's been told to save a dragon. He's been told to. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, the dragon knew to speak to him. His father
There was
has
also-
mysteriously disappeared.
There's also that slight hint from Arian saying, "Oh, you Scalebanes like think you're in charge, like ancient royal blood or something."
Mm.
There's something going on there. I don't have the
Wow.
conspiracy beard or it is.
The conspiracy accoutrement are wild today.
I've never even considered that possibility. I think it's awesome. I hope that happens.
Bridges is his half sister.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah.
That was a big one. Well conspiracied there. That was
Yeah.
really good.
I mean, the more normal comments about the game were, having to ask us Neoric, like, please put this in common, or I'm going to have nothing in my recap next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because a fully half the session was in Dwarvish, just kind of like, and then Gus Neoric talked for a while. A long while.
I mean, it would have been an easy recap. But boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Anything else,
I'm going
Miette?
to take up conspiracy theories now. No, I'm good. I've made my big pronouncement.
Yeah, no, that was definitely worthy of going first. Anybody else want to go, or shall I just go round?
Pick it random. It's fine.
Okay, let's go with Sprocket.
No, I don't really have anything. Just he's feeling a bit uneasy going to the home of the dwarfs because it's neither his home and he's just come out of the home of the elves, which I feel like home to. So it's two home cities in a very short time. I didn't feel like he belonged in that.
Yeah, I can see why he's a bit on edge.
He's just trying to. He's going to do that thing like when you go to a new school, you only know two people at the new school. He's going to stick by Gus and Yorick and hope that no one notices.
Okay, I look forward to that. Awesome. Let's go with Celeste.
No, don't really have much at the moment, but yeah, apart from me, Debbie's theory about Gus, and just adding to that.
Gus is a half dragon.
Just wondering.
Just half.
I'm curious to how all the stuff with the dragon started in the first place. Who was it? The priests that made the first move on the dragons, or was it originally self-defense and it escalated from there?
I mean,
I think it could be a mixture of both, probably, couldn't it? Sort of if there was sort of some dragons attacking and getting killed, and then they found they had gems on them, and then the priest got greedy and found a way to control everybody, and could be anything really. We don't really know.
There is one person in the party who would know. We could ask Yorick. Yorick, Avatar.
Yeah, Avatar of Reox. Yeah.
oh my
Well,
word.
I do have a spell that might help to figure out some of that, the old legend lore. I was actually looking for modify memory because I don't trust that Declan and Emerald are going to keep their mouths shut. But it's not till it's a 6th level spell. I wouldn't have it yet.
Okay. So, Florian, what you got? Put your conspiracy beard on if you're going to
Still-
conspiracy.
I mean, mine's on all the time.
That's
so...
true. That's true.
Why
The
do you
beard of
like
insight.
checks so much?
No, I quite like it. It's quite nice to have to think of different ways to ask to do stuff in the game. Specifically, obviously, insight checks, because I know nobody or anything. But yeah, a couple of little drops, and quite like, not in a sadistic way, by the way, but Ferenza's reaction to seeing the dragon heads on all of the spikes, and felt like it kind of grounded Florian back to who Florian was, trying to be kind and just give that gentle word, shoulder, ear to someone in need. Definitely interesting to see where it goes. Is Gus half dragon? Who knows? But yeah, it was. I just sat there and I was going, "Do I ask now?" I was like, "I can't ask because I don't know the person from fucking Adam." So I was kind of like, "Yorick, let's speak to Yorick and see what Yorick will do."
What would your
Exactly. It's always.
or what would Reorx?
Okay, so let's have Ferenz next up. Some pretty shocking, nasty things for you for Ferenz to see.
Yeah. He's not particularly happy.
No, I got that.
He feels like Yorick and Gus are just making excuses at the moment. He trusts them to do the right thing, but they're making excuses for the other dwarves.
Yeah,
You know,
could be.
From what they've said, yes, there's been death on both sides, but who's farming whose children? And who's been doing it probably for the last 500 years?
Yeah.
No, I get why Ferenz is
And
incandescent at a minute.
He shares a very sort of unique connection with the dragons, and this is why. But he trusts Yorick to make the right decision, and he'll go with what he said, because obviously he's a stranger to this land. But he'll do his part.
Fair
And he's a little bit angry with himself for reacting that way, because he's usually very sort of calm and.
Yeah, normally he's very placid, but you know there are limits. Everybody gets wound up at some point.
He's angry with himself because the boss wouldn't be happy about the way he reacted, but
Yeah,
we'll
highly
see.
probable. So, Melissa, what you got?
Hey, what do you think it's like to be in like a really dark cave, just illuminated a little bit by, glowing lights, and you're just hearing voices talking in a language that you don't understand at all?
Probably terrifying.
Yeah. But I liked the subtle hint and the not so subtle hints about Dell. There's definitely more to her still. But my main question is, why are the priests doing what they're doing with the dragon eggs and the young dragons? Is it just greed?
Or greed and power?
Is it just greed and power, or is it motivated by something else? Because
What do you think
I
fear
have
involved?
if I conspiracy beard, yeah, I think they're not priests of Reorx, they're priests of someone else.
Ooh.
And I think that they're subverting this and deliberately trying to destroy the dragon. So it's a good chance it might be Fianna, considering Bridris's innate distrust of devils.
Florian has his hand up.
Just to add to that, I meant to add to it before, but I forgot. But no, Jay brought that up. On the recompense to that, why has it taken 500 years for Reorx to change something about it? if his priests haven't been talking to him.
I don't think we've actually been given those timescales. We're just talking.
Well, no, yeah, but like for however long it is, but like why is it now coming to basically loggerheads rather than it
I
being?
think kind of. I suspect it's because Reorx has always been kind of the reclusive one.
Laid back, chilled out at the pub
Maybe
type
it's
person.
because
Not
Yeah.
so much laid back chilled out.
because it
It's
doesn't
vibrant
actually
of
have
God
any
control.
control in Dag.
And
Because if the priests are worshipping someone else, and it's only after we disappeared, got away from them, that he was able to influence us, maybe.
And also, he may not have been inclined to make any change because, well, things were kind of ticking along. But now the world's going to end, so it's probably time he
I
stepped.
suspect that he was probably kind of resting on his laurels because he'd managed to kind of evade everything else that happened to his siblings by being hidden in the mountains and just assumed that the rest of the world was fine.
Yeah, and I would also like to know, to make the point that we know for a fact that dragons are not the only people that can disguise themselves. Law.
True.
You know, he's this fella, what, a disguised devil.
Yeah.
So it would be very good if you had someone who knows a lot about devils and seems particularly skilled at sniffing them out in the party.
Yeah,
That would be very handy, wouldn't it?
That would help. Yeah.
oh, yeah, one of those.
We should
It's
get ourselves one of those.
Chaz mentally writing everything down here, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I've saved the two dwarves that were most involved for last, as you may have noticed, as ever. Which of the two dwarves would like to go first? Gus.
If I'm a half dragon, does that mean I can marry Delamar and have dragon babies?
Wow. That conspiracy beard is quite a long one, isn't it?
It's James's dream as a PC, isn't it? Though, come on.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. James
You
not
get-
only has a pet, but turns into the pet.
We do some Mendelian splicing here. You will get a dragon, 25% chance.
And the second thing is, I'm going to get my mum free, and she's going to kick some serious butt.
Probably started with yours.
Well, no, because I'm going to free her, because I'm a good son.
Yeah.
You'll get the slap on the head afterwards.
I might be the only son, but I'm a good son. Yeah, I don't mind a couple of smacks round the ear
Standard.
for not dying.
For not getting in contact and running off without telling her. Yeah. That should be interesting.
Maybe we'll leave her for a little bit.
Yeah, that'll make it better. Make her wait. You're
I
in the
love
city how long before you rescued her?
You've been
I
in
love
the
the fact
city
that-
how long?
It's only just taken the past couple of sessions for Yorick to actually have the sending spell. He's never thought about it before.
It's been full of healing spells.
Yeah. He's only just swapped the healing spells out, you see. So,
I'll have to go. I've got
anything else from
cure wounds.
anything else from you, Gus, before we turn to
Oh, that's me.
Conan Yorick? What you got for us?
Nothing big on the conspiracy beard this time. I know he said that Yorick's mum and dad had been away. What was probably about a day late.
Yeah.
But I swapped messages with my dad like less than 24 hours ago.
You did.
So not really worried there.
Well,
I-
I mean, you know that patrols go overtime all the time. So.
I said to Gus that I'd send his dad a message, so we'll see what happens. But I'll wait till we're safely and franking ourselves before we do that.
You better send my mum a message as well. Tell her we're alive and we're coming to get her.
Yeah,
So
I
then
do think that we're going to be sold out by the two on the wall.
Can you also ask her if she ever did anything with a dragon? That would-
How would she know? Dragon would have been in disguise.
If Gus is Pan, then surely his mum is. Where did he get it from?
Yeah, the adventurous nature.
Indeed.
Scale Bane.
Scale Bane or Scale Bone?
Ooh,
Sorry.
Both.
It was one, and it
I-
morphed over the years.
Yes. So, anything else from anyone else? Or are we good?
Yeah.
good.
Good. Right, okay. I would ask Terry, but I don't know where she's gone. She's vanished.
Disappeared just in time.
Just to get out of answering whether she has a question or not.
Terrier dragon as well then, got invisible like the one with in our party.
Could be.
Does that mean your children are half dragons?
I mean, could be.
That would
Okay,
explain
were you a
why
half dragon?
4 feet tall.
Could be. Jay's not
Jay is
listening.
staying fiercely silent on the subject.
Sorry, I completely zoned out there. Apologies.
James was suggesting your mother is a dragon because she's currently invisible.
And she has been known to, smoke, and dragons do smoke.
Ah, she has just reappeared.
If
so
she
she's
is,
no
I'm
longer
not going to
invisible.
question it because I'm.
So, Terry,
That's terrifying.
do you have any questions? No, apparently not. Are you a dragon? The conspiracy beard is wild today.
Yes.
You are. Okay, she is a dragon.
Excellent.
Wow.
If I was going to put money anywhere, it'd be on Jay being half theta or something.
You'd think, but
I'm very
dragon,
good at disguising my horns.
nobody knows. But
Dragon,
We're gonna
vampire,
have Jay be the
fae.
half fae and Natalie be the half dragon.
could be. Well, anyway, thank you all very much for playing. It was a really good fun session tonight. Next week is session number
Oui.
69. So
Nice.
please tune in for that. We also have the investigators on Sunday. Don't forget, we are. Sorry, you were going to say something?
I just wooed.
Rude. Oh, sorry. I do apologise. So yeah, don't forget that. We also maybe have a dragon issue there also. Slightly different dragon issue in that one wants to kill us. But, it might not happen.
But it's early days.
I'm sure that Mazdak will figure out a plan and the rest of them will go, well, that won't work, and then it'll work. So that's generally what happens, just to give a little bit of plot. But that's not how it works. So, thank you all very much for watching. Have a wonderful week. We will see you all very, very soon. Bye.